sound like we're happy. No, let's get it all out. I'm sure you also heard that someone walked into my office while I was sucking on my own toes. And do I go fast walking in nurses' shoes every Saturday in the park? Yes, I do.
Peter, we're not here because of any of it.
Okay, I know what this is about. Somebody saw me holding hands with a guy at Quiznos this morning. All right. And was I involved in the Oklahoma City bombing? A little bit.
No, Peter, you're not getting it.
Okay, we'll go deeper. Yeah, I was swindled by that cat who said he was from the future. Turns out he was just a present-day cat with a smooth sales kit.
Dad, you don't understand.
Oh, I understand. I understand I made hundreds of deadly enemies by shouting racial taunts up at the jailhouse windows. Oh, and another thing. Raise it.
What's the longest motherfucker record? I'm gonna play this motherfucker. Hey, y'all get some more drinks going on. I sound a whole lot better.
Listen, see, you got ritualistic. There's a nice old addiction for now, 'cause I'm falling apart.
The longest motherfucker record. I'm gonna play this motherfucker for y'all. Hey, y'all get some more drinks going on. I sound a whole lot better.
Listen, see, you got ritualistic. Cleansing my soul of addiction for now, 'cause I'm falling apart.
No, it stands for Drift King. But who is the real Drift King? Does he even exist? Well, indeed he does. Drift King, also known as Tsuchiya, is the man who started on the track Tsuchiya.
But if you close your
Sex is like math. You add the bed, subtract the clothes, divide the legs, and pray you don't multiply. Storm has already blown several transformers. More people live in the green area than the blue area. Count Dracula technically has a monster cock, regardless of size. I asked a patient after surgery how he feels. He opens his eyes, stares me dead on, and says, "With my fingers," and he goes right back to sleep. Sex is like math. You add the bed, subtract the clothes, divide the legs, and pray you don't multiply. Storm has already blown several transformers. More people live in the green area than the blue area. Count Dracula technically has a monster cock, regardless of size. I asked a patient after surgery how he feels. He opens his eyes, stares me dead on, and says, "With my fingers," and he goes right back to sleep. Sex is like math. You add the bed, subtract the clothes.
What is something that should not be sexualized? Kids. I've commented this on the other dozen times someone puts this on our Ask Reddit. Glad to see I didn't have to be the first one finally. Serial killers. Is this like an actual thing? Forklift safety training videos probably would be distracting and not appropriate for a work environment. That octopus from the boys. Mental illness, eating disorders, self-harm, depression, trauma, etc. There is a disturbingly large group of anorexia fetishists. Relationship between a parent and their child. Children are obvious answer, but I think that Halloween costumes for kids, like Naughty Nurse or shit, is super stupid. Eating lollipops. I just want to eat my candy. Breastfeeding. It's just a mother feeding her baby. What is something that should not be sexualized? Kids. I've commented this on the other dozen times someone puts this on our Ask Reddit. Glad to see I didn't have to be the first one finally. Serial killers. Is this like an actual thing? Forklift safety training videos probably would be distracting and not appropriate for a work environment. That octopus from the boys. Mental illness, eating disorders, self-harm, depression, trauma, etc. There is a disturbingly large group of anorexia fetishists. Relationship between a parent and their child. Children are obvious answer, but I think that Halloween costumes for kids, like Naughty Nurse or shit, is super stupid. Eating lollipops. I just want to eat my candy. Breastfeeding. It's just a mother feeding her baby. What is something that should not be sexualized? Kids. I've commented this on the other dozen times someone puts this on our Ask Reddit. Glad to see I didn't have to be the first one finally. Is this like an actual thing? Forklift safety training video.
What? Why are you running? Yo, that's messed up. Mods, we need to ban whoever we...
Or if you close your eyes. Oh.
To the max.
Hey all, Scott here. I wanted to see what having a personality was like, so I like spelunking now. Either this or misanthropy. But these games hide a secret, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. Why everybody who plays Donkey Kong Barrel Blast absolutely in the beginning. Everybody was a virgin. For 2007 years, humanity was intent of anything but genocide. Donkey Kong from the arcades, the smash hit in 1981, was one of the first platformers as we know them today, which is just one of the many reasons behind its importance. This was the game that solidified Nintendo as a titan in gaming, the game that gave Shigeru Miyamoto his start in game design and direction, the game that introduced the most iconic video game character, debatably fictional character of all time. Jumpman. Do you ever just accept this as an icon of society? Mario's first appearance, originally named Jumpman, you got a 2-for-1 here with icons. So as a kid, I found it strange how you didn't play as the titular character. I mean, it's straight up called Donkey Kong, Nintendo. Play as an ape. Play as an ape. Play as an ape.
I'm getting a 12-hour stream, hopefully, if I can keep it up.
All these characters are based on the archetypes of the cast of Popeye, in addition to taking heavy inspiration from King Kong.
And it's all going to be on Minecraft.
Plagiarism or not, we're here to agree. Regardless, Donkey Kong was an enormous success. Without it, we would not have Nintendo in the form we do today. Donkey Kong. Of course, now with a successful property, Nintendo learned that it's never too early to start giving up Donkey Kong Jr. Here you play as Donkey Kong's son, who is tasked with saving Donkey Kong from Mario. It follows the same idea of but I do think this one has a lot more strategy involved in terms of how to get there the quickest while racking up a high score. While Junior did well, it didn't do as well as the original Donkey Kong. So take this, make a multi-billion-dollar franchise out of it, and take this, and just take it. While Mario spun off into his own franchise, the Donkey Kong series introduced Stanley the Bugman, a warning sign if I've ever seen one. Donkey Kong 3 is a vertical shooter where Stanley shoots bug spray into Donkey Kong ass, Donkey Kong's Donkey Kong ass, Donkey Kong ass. Get Donkey Kong to the top of the screen while shooting all the bees. Suffice to say, most players were not interested in bee-based software. Couple that with this releasing in 1983 right alongside the video game crash and just straight up not being anything like the previous Donkey Kong games, and Donkey Kong 3 killed the franchise, just like any Donkey Kong 3 would. Any series that's tried it, it's never worked out. Afterwards, the DK series is relegated to re-releases and Donkey Kong Jr. Math, the sign of any healthy franchise. But then, a decade after Donkey Kong 3, Nintendo revived and rebooted the series with Donkey Kong Country, developed by the studio Rare. It didn't evolve the arcade gameplay, rather it took the character of Donkey Kong, made him the protagonist, and built new worlds, characters, and a standardized style of gameplay to make this more of an actual series rather than flavor of the month, spray this monkey's ass with bug spray. I'll take chocolate. Your villains were the Kremlings. You had a whole Kong family, including Donkey Kong's new sidekick, Diddy Kong. You had some of the most impressive graphics on a console up to that point. Donkey Kong Country was a massive success, and every massive success leads to a sexual revolution. Donkey Kong Country 2, 3, Game Boy side games, Donkey Kong Land 1, 2, and 3, Donkey Kong 64, bringing the series into 3D for the first time ever, all developed by Rare. Donkey Kong was finally starting to be treated like the Mario series with all this support, but even though that series was just a spin-off of Donkey Kong, it received spin-offs itself in the form of Dr. Mario, Mario Golf, Mario Tennis.
I am listening to Scott the Waz.
All of these new games taking place in a world friendly expansion, it was fair to expect Donkey Kong to receive some spin-offs of his own.
Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong's ass, Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong's ass.
Donkey Kong doesn't appear at all in this game. In fact, fundamentally, no Donkey Kong.
This video is about
outside of Diddy Kong himself. Donkey
Kong Barrel Blast.
Crunch? They're just a bunch of damn Build-A-Bears. But hey, Diddy Kong Racing was an excellent kart racer, one that, to some, surpassed Mario Kart 64. You can tell it did by all the sequels it got. And it was still developed by Rare. They made all the Donkey Kong related stuff back then, and going into the Gamecube generation, they were poised to make more.
Is your concrete looking old and worn? Now you can easily renew your concrete surfaces with Quikrete Recap Concrete Resurfacer at a
That threw a wrench into plans. One of the most infamous studio acquisitions of all time. Microsoft buying Rare, making it impossible for them to continue being the head developer of Donkey Kong, considering how they were owned by Nintendo's rival. Many look at this as one of Nintendo's biggest blunders. I mean, outside of Donkey Kong, Rare developed GoldenEye, Banjo-Kazooie. You fool! But the thing is, I feel like if Nintendo saw legitimate value in their continued relationship with Rare, they would have purchased them, no doubt. Even though Nintendo owned 49% of the company at the time, Rare went to them as game development was becoming too expensive for them not to be a flat-out subsidiary. And Nintendo said no. They bought NDCube 10 years later. They made Tube Slider. And even though they supposedly made some bids to buy Rare once Microsoft and Activision were throwing offers around, just the fact that they allowed an opening for them to be purchased by a competitor in the first place, it says to me they didn't value their work as much as we think they did. I mean, Rare made like half the Nintendo 64 library, and you bought... Welcome back to Nintendo Makes Good Choices. Rare did have some Donkey Kong projects in the works at the time, though. Well, spin-offs, actually. There was Donkey Kong Coconut Crackers, a puzzle game for Game Boy Advance, and Diddy Kong Pilot, a Game Boy Advance successor to Diddy Kong Racing. While Microsoft forbade Rare from making GameCube games, they could still produce Game Boy Advance titles simply because Microsoft wasn't in the handheld market. So, bring on It's Mr. Pants! And 9 months later, you were born. These were reworked versions of those Donkey Kong projects. Coconut Crackers became Pants, and Diddy Kong Pilot became Banjo Pilot. But there was a big one that never saw the light of day. Donkey Kong Racing for GameCube. This seemed to be the logical evolution of Diddy Kong Racing, incorporating far more Donkey Kong Country elements, riding animal buddies from those games, taking place in these jungle settings. But of course, this was canceled after Rare's acquisition. They attempted to rework it into a few different projects without the DK license for Xbox and Xbox 360, but that never worked. Guys, it's not Donkey Kong Racing. It's Earl! While all these projects were retooled or canceled, Nintendo and Rare would collaborate again via the Donkey Kong Country re-releases for GBA. Yeah, sure, we can still be friends. You'll just hear me and my new boyfriend all the time. Rare developed these ports, so there was some wiggle room for them to work on Nintendo games. Maybe they could make some brand new portable DK titles. Tell me when. The 2000s. Listen, we're just throwing it out there. Bad era for Donkey Kong. Economic recession. Without its key developer in the past decade, I think Nintendo didn't really know what to do with this thing. Be honest, if you had the keys to this kingdom, you wouldn't either. So, let's get weird. All according to plan. The most well-known Donkey Kong project from the 2000s has to be the Donkey Konga series. Rhythm games for the Gamecube developed by Namco, specifically because of their work on the Taiko Drum Master games. I mean, comparing the two, they're very similar. But where Donkey Konga differs is its use of and the DK Bongos accessory. Sure, you can play Donkey Konga with a regular controller. You can also brush your teeth with mice. But it was designed around the DK Bongos. Smacking clap along to the music. It was a gimmicky yet very novel.
I need to destroy this tree.
We're a trademark of the series ever since that first arcade game. The title itself featured characters from the Donkey Kong Country series. Diddy Kong Racing may have been the better Donkey Kong spin-off, but Donkey Konga was the better Donkey Kong spin-off. And a lot of that was due to those damn bongos. I mean, talk about unique accessories. I want to talk about them. So, of course, you couldn't just stop at one use for these things. I mean, they're bongos. There's a million things you can do with them, all of which are Donkey Konga based. Donkey Konga 2 is basically just more of the same, now with an updated song list. Same can be said for Donkey Konga 3, though that one never left Japan. They wanted to make the most out of these bongos, and after 3 rhythm games, many would stop right there, but Nintendo refused. This was Donkey Kong Now, a bongo's bitch, because Nintendo's prime development team, EAD, pumped out Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, a brand new Donkey Kong platformer for GameCube designed around using the DK bongos. To prove the skeptics wrong, I mean, Jungle Beat is a very well-designed and fun game, and a new Donkey Kong platformer developed in-house at Nintendo ain't something to complain about if you weren't in the house next to them. Donkey Kong's presence on the handhelds was just as abnormal, though. Outside of the country games, we got DK King of Swing on the GBA in 2005, developed by Payon. Somebody had to do it. Now,
Also, Logan is sleeping right
DK
now,
King of
so...
Swing, of course. Instead, they seem to be mostly a support studio. When you call if you need help getting things done. But this happens to be one of their few sole development credits. This is a fan-only joint, and it's something only they can do. Disappointment. The King of Swing isn't bad, it just feels painfully generic. This could have been for any franchise, but with an added Donkey Kong coat of paint. Ew, it's just a puzzle platformer, nothing too offensive. Oh my god, when I look at this, I want to feel! You grab onto these walls and continually move clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on what hand you grab them with. It's a fine idea, it's just the execution is a bit bland. At that time, King of Swing was the closest we really got to a traditional DK game outside of Jungle Beat. How close was that, really? No, Jungle Beat only retained Donkey Kong, bananas, and barrels from DKC. Outside of that, that's what I'm saying. Payon proved themselves worthy of crafting new yet simple Donkey Kong based experiences for handheld, so Nintendo commissioned them again for a King of Swing sequel on Nintendo DS, DK Jungle Climber. God damn, I mean, DK King of Swing was simplistic looking, but at the very least it had some sort of funky style to it. It's just pathetic. Like, don't do that! So Payon was head of the DK series, pumping out tolerable experiences. Rare came back one last time to develop an DS remake of Diddy Kong Racing with more Donkey Kong references in tow, both in 2007. So Nintendo was pumping out DK spin-offs like mad this year. Why not another? Hey, so we have one series of DK spin-offs made by Payon, another focused on racing, even if Donkey Kong Racing never saw the light of day, and another that'll get you evicted. So for the third Donkey Kong spin-off in 2007, let us combine all three to get, oh, what the? The Donkey Kong series has been through so much. Imagine what its therapy sessions are like. This era of the franchise can definitely be attributed to Rare's acquisition by Microsoft. So all Nintendo knew how to do was to contract companies to make spin-offs for them, until they eventually found a new home for the mainline series with Retro Studios in 2010 with Donkey Kong Country Returns. But before that, we got one last whimper from this era of spin-offs in 2007. Why don't you ever hear anybody talk about this game? Because everybody who's played it is too busy f***ing their wife. Donkey Kong Barrel Blast, the 10th Commandment, generally considered one of the worst Nintendo games of all time. Barrel Blast sits at a 46 on Metacritic, which is the same as Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, worse than Balan Wonderworld, Aliens Cloning Marines. Some of the most notorious bad bad video games of the 21st century, and Donkey Kong Barrel Blast is right there with them. Is this reception fair, or did a bunch of game reviewers trip and fall? You know, I have heard some people say this game is unfairly hated. I've also heard voices in my head, so who knows, maybe this was just a misunderstanding. She may have killed my brother, but maybe he was lying. Barrel Blast was developed by...
Maybe he was lying!
Nintendo saw them as the home of DK spin-offs back then. What an honor. This title was originally announced at E3 2006 for the Nintendo Gamecube under the name DK Bongo Blast. You can see a few instances of King of Swing inspiration, such as Donkey Kong's player icon here, as well as just using the abbreviation DK in the title. But this was a completely different beast from what Pan developed before. This was a racing game, and not just any racing game, a bad one. This was set to be the 5th game compatible with the DK Bongos, 6 if they had courage. But hey, this looked like another interesting and creative use of the accessory. The one problem, I demand phallic jokes. E3 2006 was definitely a passing of the torch between the GameCube and Wii. Nintendo was preparing for its next console after the last one sort of flopped, though not without a few last releases for that struggling GameCube. Nintendo wasn't going to end their system without a bang. 2006 gave us Chibi Robo, Odama, Baten Kaido's Origins, and the death of Gerald Horn. While Nintendo was planning to support the GameCube in its last few years, most of the titles in development were pushed towards its successor, the Wii, even if those titles were already revealed and demoed in advance running on GameCube. The most notorious was The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, which did still end up releasing on GameCube, though this was more so out of obligation. Super Paper Mario was originally shown for GameCube, though that version was scrapped entirely in favor of it being a Wii exclusive, and much like that game, DK Bongo Blast quickly moved over to Wii as well. The change was announced roughly 3 months after it debuted as a GameCube exclusive, because the Wii lineup without it just made no damn sense. By spring of 2007, it was confirmed to only be releasing on Wii, renamed to Donkey Kong Jet Race in Europe, and over here, Donkey Kong Barrel Blast. Oh, excuse me, Europe. Barrel Blast. It was to launch in Japan on June 28th, 2007, North America on October 8th, and Europe on January 25th, 2008. They were a late bloomer. And 2007 was a monumental year. One of the biggest years ever for gaming and DVDs. Something had to give. You couldn't experience everything. So when Barrel Blast launched, many players had to choose between maintaining abstinence and playing Barrel Blast. Those poor bastards never looked back. I've only played this game for a bit, and that's basically just grazing a crotch. But that tells me I am the chosen one. I tried playing it before. I couldn't. So I tried another copy and another copy, and about 40 copies later, it's tough, but I made some progress in the game. Okay, I can withstand this. I am immune to this game's spooky groin expansion, and it will not affect my schedule. I have things to do tomorrow. I've tried getting laid in the past, but not anymore. I'm tired of no sex being shunned in society. I'm tired of being the virgin in the haystack. I'm no longer following society. Society's gonna follow me, and everybody's gonna have not sex and harmony. Nobody will feel left out, and I'll get recognition. A custom mug at least. I could use a bodyguard to ensure no unnecessary crotch enters the premises, but it must go forth regardless. With great
power comes great virginity.
I will restore chastity to this world. I can beat Barrel Blast without having sex.
Impractical.
The door wasn't locked.
My sirens are going off. Goes off whenever somebody's trying to.
Sure that wasn't an air monitor?
As sure as I am cordial. Anybody trying to lose their virginity?
I've loosened my virginity.
Do you know what that thing's capable of? It's a ticking time bomb with testosterone.
Hey, I'm taking precautions.
As somebody who's not a fan of sex, let alone your cock, I have an obligation to society to prevent you from mating, okay? This thing ruined my family, and it gave us more of them.
And I appreciate that, but the only way we can live in a sex-free community is by beating this game to break the curse. And I could use your help.
Normally I'd crash and bitch about the thought of doing anything in relation to that game. But I'm a pretty open-minded kind of guy, okay? And I'd do anything to unban the act of no sex in society. I'm in. So the only way to stop f***ing is to start f***ing?
Yep. And we're about to film our first sex tape.
Huh?
Donkey Kong Barrel Blast or Donkey Kong Jet Race. Which one's the better name? The one that's not this. Shit, the Wii Remote and Nunchuck to race. What is this, some kind of shitty game? Obviously with the jump to Wii, they had to include Wii Remote controls, and these seem to be directed version of how your integrity will be lost with the DK bongos. But hey, the Wii supports GameCube controllers. You can play GameCube games on the Wii, including all the DK bongo games. So some Wii games allow you to use GameCube controllers. So, of course, with Barrel Blast being designed to use the DK bongos, it just makes perfect sense for the final release to support the accessory, or at the very least, the traditional GameCube controller, as it was clear you could use it with older builds of the game. But of course, what makes more sense? This game doing that, or realizing I have trust issues.
Lucky you! That's the first step to not getting laid.
So that's what foreplay sounds like. Gotta say, Barrel Blast is one of the quickest loading Wii games I've ever played. Didn't even flinch. Unlike me, that's all I'm doing. Look at all these options. We can play 4 tracks in a row, not play 4 tracks in a row, not play 4 tracks in a row. Now play 4 tracks in a row and not give a shit. On the right-hand side, we can check out Cranky's Flight School, records, options, and Candy's challenges. This is gonna pose a problem. Well, let's start off with a Jungle Grand Prix. We choose our character. I got Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, and Epidimal Hypertension. Right below them are the Kremlings from the Donkey Kong Country series. Turns out the character roster here is focused on the Kong versus the Kremlings, light versus dark, good versus evil, Christ versus Satanism. Every Kong has to have a rival, and because of that, half of these Kremlings were created just for Barrel Blast. Yeah, there's only like a handful of Kremlings that are legitimate characters, so Fan had to go out of their way to craft Kludge. If that is not organic. Come on, you have loads of Kremlings to choose from. We live in a world where Club exists, and you're just not gonna take advantage of that? I mean, it's kind of a cute idea to build your character roster out of the concept of heroes versus villains, but I think they finalized that idea before going... So in comes the Kremlings. We got Critter with Kip and Cass as newcomers. Who are Kip and Cass? Well, Diddy and Dixie Kong's rivals, of course. Thank you, Dad. I'll pick Donkey Kong because I need a character flaw. Rookie difficulty, Topaz Cup, and DK Bongos because this game supports them and I'm not narcoleptic. No support for the DK Bongos. The entire reason behind this game's concept, the entire reason this game exists in the first place. Now, it's just shake the Wii remote and uncheck to race. Yeah, well, that's not a selling point. That's a cautionary tale. The Wii's appeal was that the motion controls mimicked real-life scenarios, which is why Mario Kart Wii came bundled with the Wii wheel and had you steer as if you were driving a car. That was legitimately exciting for casual audiences back then. But Barrel Blast came out earlier, and what does Barrel Blast do to simulate driving with this immersive motion-based video game controller? Suffice to say, I failed my initial driving test. So, Donkey Kong Barrel Blast is a racing game in the DK universe designed around the DK bongos. Thus, of course, all characters have rocket-powered bongos attached to them at all times, naturally. By hitting them, you accelerate and can move left to right by hitting left to right. Now, with the bongos peripheral, it's obviously one big, giant, stupid excuse to use them, but creative and somewhat...
I'm gonna slap myself to wake up.
It goes from stupid
It worked.
to just fucking dumb. Shake the controllers as if you're banging on the bongos. Wow, it's so realistic. This is the best way this game could have possibly been played. It's almost like I'm actually banging on bongos, and only the Wii remote and nunchuck could...
I do that when I'm really tired. I slap myself to...
You may think that you have to shake the controllers throughout the whole race.
Wake myself up.
All you have to do is shake them enough
So I don't really fall forward or back and like...
most apes on a jet. And to shift from left to right, shake left to right. Jump by smacking both of them down. It's pretty simple. So is murder. You ruined a perfectly good jet barrel race game with motion controls, Nintendo. Why do you keep doing that? I'm not gonna say these controls don't work, but that doesn't mean I'm not thinking it. While this functions, it's far from enjoyable. It's tolerable at best. A gimmick like this only works when you go all the way with it, i.e. bongos. Simulating that gimmick rather than just doing it makes the entire experience feel unnecessary. Like, what's the point? See, they wanted to design a racing game around that old peripheral, much like how Jungle Beat was, with these both feeling like the developers were challenging themselves. Let's make a platformer that uses bongos. It worked, but definitely made the game a bit inaccessible. So when they brought Jungle Beat over to the Wii in 2009, they tweaked the title to be playable with the Wii remote and nunchuck, which made it easier to appreciate Jungle Beat from a level design perspective. Though, weirdly enough, its existence felt a bit more forced without the DK bongos. Still a solid game, though what made it special and unique was gone. You can't just expect a game that was designed to work with this to be just as fun and quirky without it. Yeah, it's easier to play Dance Dance Revolution with a D-pad. Doesn't make you likable. But what if you took Dance Dance Revolution and removed the dance mat, removed the D-pad controls, and forced you to waggle the Wii remote in the direction it tells you? Do you think that would be stupid? No, that's not stupid. That's Donkey Kong Barrel Blast and stupid. The controls here are dumb. They're just dumb. Imagine if in Mario Kart you had to stand up to use an item. No reason. You just have to stand up. It's unique. this game's reasoning behind its motives. Shaking to get to max speed is undeniably irritating. Even though you only have to do it for a bit at the start and then you're golden, every time you hit, you lose momentum and you have to shake the controllers to get back up to speed. God damn! I mean, this isn't like in Mario Kart where, oh, you got hit, bam, you're back in action in a few seconds. Barrel Blast, everything stops. It just stops. Things screech to a crawl when you get hit, and then you have to get back up to top speed. But if you don't have a straight, large stretch of land to shake to, if you get hit in a field full of obstacles, or God forbid, at all, it's a bitch to get up and running again, and you have to deal with the shame and embarrassment of going 10 while everybody else is going 20. This is one of the slowest damn 8 racing games I've ever played. Nintendo disagrees, and it's all made worse by the fact that all the tracks have bumper lanes. You can't fall off, you can't go off course, you can't lose at the game, you can just do really poorly. So you pretty much cruise through the levels automatically. You can't fall off the track, you can't veer off the track, you can't go any faster than this. What's the challenge? Having arms. It wears on you, not even physically, but mentally. Constantly hearing the bongo taps come out of the Wii remote speaker, doing the same movements with your arms over and over again while falling deeper and deeper into this game's core values.
I can't do this anymore. I feel cold.
I can tell.
I may be able to withstand a video game for the betterment of society, but my immune system can't.
Jesus, you look horrible. Hey, you need nourishment. I need no sex. Stat!
It can't be delivered. You can't mail hazardous materials. No sex delivery.
He's a vigilante.
I prefer the term felon. This is a gun. Hey, nice setup. I love walls.
You want to stay? I got 3 more up. So I'm trying to stop sex. I'm needing help doing it. So I have Rex over here guarding me, making sure I stop sex without having sex. But he can't handle all this sex. So I was wondering if you could stick around to resuscitate him if possible, so I can continue to not have sex while having sex. While Rex guards me, while you guard Rex, that would be great.
Hey, isn't a monkey with sunglasses?
Yeah.
Is this what the gun was for?
To be fair, there's bananas.
Is this what the gun was
Fill up your
for?
wild move meter. Finally, a racing game with a wild move meter. It's fundamentally just a boost that you pull off by holding the analog stick.
Is even?
But running into other players, enemies, or
No,
across
it's
the track,
not.
one is
Let's
still in
go
effect. Continues the wild
right
move for longer, so you string together enough combos. I mean, do I have to spell it out for you? Pulling off wild moves effectively is how you get far in Barrel Blast, so you want to pull them out when you see a string of barrels or some other obstacle you can ram into. This is the defining element of Barrel Blast's game design, boosting into things and creating combos, and you know what? It might be something I consider to be enjoyable. Wait! When you're boosting and trying to maneuver to the nearest obstacle that you can combo into, this is when the game is fast, frantic, when it has more strategy. It's satisfying to pull off a large string of wild moves, but it just doesn't happen enough. Oftentimes, there's only like 2 sets of barrels near each other, so it's like, okay, that was pointless. Obstacles aren't set up in enough ways across all of the tracks to make this a compelling gameplay element, and most of the time, there's too much shit in the way, like these steel barrels. These don't count. But much like life, you can always resort to violence. Dish it out. You can beat it, all with the A button. So you can punch enemies, opponents, and barrels with A, use items with B, pause the game with plus, back out with home, turn off with power, throw it out with spite. But before all of that, you want to check out these items you can pick up on the track. Any mascot kart racer needs fun and creative items to use against other players, and Donkey Kong Barrel Blast? Joke's on you, those aren't carts. This one gets you bananas. This one gets you more bananas. This one is bad bananas. The items in this game are boring as hell. Most of them feel like they kind of do the same thing and that there's no real strategy to using them. It's just get an item, use it immediately. That's what I do with all of them. And while a good chunk of items have equivalents in Mario Kart, there's so much labor here. What, the blue shell? It targets the player in first place and explodes on impact. Quox? He flies to first place and takes 10 bananas from the player while pecking at him. Watch out, motherfuckers, I have Quox. Whoa, you scared me there.
Stop sucking this game's
I wouldn't have had one, but then you have Squawks.
I wouldn't stop sucking this game's cock. I wouldn't if it had one.
Behind you, it takes 10 bananas from them, which is just the same as Squawks, but it's punching down and looks completely different. Worcestershire? Frog Monkey gets sent out to the players in front of you and gets rid of their bananas, so it's the same as Squawks, but it just makes you look like an ass. Oh wow, the tasty melon makes you invincible, and you haven't played this game. Why? The blazing banana gets laid out on the track and makes opponents lose bananas if they hit it. Oh my god, just each other already. These items are boring as hell and are just a means to an end. Each one is so specific in what it does, and it's not readily apparent based on how the item looks. How most of the time after I use an item, I still have no clue how it works. Like, oh man, I got an item. What the fuck do you want me to do with this info? Now, there is a special gimmick with these things. The item boxes are balloons, both blue and red. Red balloons are for the Kongs, blue are for the Gremlings. But you can go through either or as one or the other. If you go through the balloon color of your team, your item will be a little enhanced. So since the melon is only in the red balloons as a Kong, you'll be invincible for longer. Since Mini Neki is only in the blue balloons as a Gremling, using them will not only nab 10 bananas from your opponent, but will remove a wild move of theirs as well. And this mentality applies to pretty much every item in the game. Where would I be without him? I know, horrible idea, but not necessarily a creative one. This feels like such a surface level fan idea for a new Mario Kart game. Ooh, different item boxes for different characters. How about different tires, but only for Lemmy? Well, this is a racing game, so it all comes down to the course design. 16 tracks included across 6 cups. A great deal, I say as I'm paying for college. I mean, 16 tracks is the going rate for most Mario Kart titles. So at the time of this game's release, Mario Kart games are starting to include 32 courses, 16 new and 16 retro. No worries, no worries. Donkey Kong Barrel Blast is a new concept for humanity. We can't expect it to have everything Mario Kart has right out the gate. It's a newborn, an infant. Treat it with respect. 16 tracks overall, that's nothing to sneeze at. Let's see them. That's you. We got DK Jungle, DK Jungle Fall, DK Jungle, DK Jungle Sunset, which could be anything. Salty Sea, Shimmering Sea, Open Ocean, all seaside tracks, Mount Dynamite Remix. They didn't even try to hide that one. You see what the problem is here? Yes, there may be 16 courses, but when there are only 7 distinct themes, there could be 40 of them and it would make a difference. And with every track basically being on rails without being able to follow up the course, it's hard to really tell each one apart and pick favorites outside of the limited themes. Oh, why do you like DK Jungle Boss compared to DK Jungle? Well, I like this barrel being there instead of that barrel being there. And 6 cups? Yeah, sure. The final 2 are Selection Cup and Random Cup. The former giving you the ability to pick whatever 5 tracks to play in a row, and the latter being a random assortment of 5 tracks being played in a row. Why stop there? Why not a random Selection Cup, where they give you a random limited assortment of tracks to select from? Why not a cup that lets you schedule when you want to play it? Why not a cup that's a calculator?
God, there's so many options here. I could imagine doing this alone. With another person? Maybe even 4.
Why would you, though? To see 5 of the 16 tracks have bees as an obstacle?
That's more impressive than you may think. Were bees in Citizen Kane? Maybe not. They were around during Genghis Khan's raid. They did nothing about it. Hey, let me watch my apes in peace.
You're a thick wench!
Oh, come on, you're just being a fucking loser.
Oh, I haven't lost anything.
Guys, it's really hard to stay abstinent with all this shouting.
Here, mark him with this so I can always tell which one of us is in fucking Creed.
What does the A stand for?
You're a fucking Creed.
Playing through the code, you can unlock a decent.
What does the A stand for? You're a fucking creep.
Tiny Kong Clutch Copter. Were you expecting a crocodile with an afro? Good. The rest of the characters you unlock via candies, challenges, an excuse to ogle a monkey. Just go to the zoo! Here we have 32 challenges to complete, where you only play as Donkey Kong, with characters like Wrinkly Kong, Cranky Kong, Clump, and King K. Rool being locked at certain ones. And there we have it, the final roster. Yeah, with half the Gremlins being original creations just for Barrel Blast, I have to once again severely question the choice to make this roster heroes versus villains. There are so many other characters from Donkey Kong that could have and should have made it in before Clutch. I believe in what I believe. But it's all worth it to see a full lineup of characters I'll never use. Plus, they all have their own unique stats, so if you needed a reason to use Clump over Clutch, you don't. But to get to this point, you have to go through some of the most tedious challenges I have ever endured. 32 challenges, roughly 1/3 of them take place on the same DK Jungle track. Roughly another third takes place on the Cranky's Flight School variant of that map. You had the chance to split up like 2 challenges per track. Instead, there are straight up tracks that just don't have any representation here. So damn many of these are on the exact same course, and the challenges themselves, like 200 bananas, like 700 bananas, like 200 bananas, all run by a monkey that I don't know what Nintendo wants me to think of. Like, Jesus, kid, just wear a name tag. But hidden behind the final challenge is one last unlockable character. On DK Jungle, goddammit.
I thought you were a virgin.
Yeah, you're getting like a pro.
This challenge is absurd for no other reason than they make the time to complete it like 2 seconds shorter than it should be. You have to punch the
It counts.
Nothing else here. No track editor, no story mode, no online. I mean, just compare this to Mario Kart Wii, a game that released a few months later, alright? You get 32 tracks with multiple control schemes, with many relying on motion control, online multiplayer, online tournaments with missions, battle mode with 10 tracks exclusive to it, 26 characters with 3 of them being from Donkey Kong, 36 different vehicles, while this one... Gludge. Jesus Christ, even Diddy Kong Racing on the Nintendo 64 had more content outside of the characters, but at least all of them were more unique. Barrel Blast's lack of content can be attributed to it being a gimmick title at its core. We're only making this to see if we can, and you're only buying this because you make poor life choices. But on the Wii, this is one of the most useless games I've ever experienced. If it used the DK bongos, it may not have been better, but it would have made more sense. Though, I don't think it's as horrible as people make it out to be. Oh, it's bad, sure, but a lot of the complaints I can't really get behind. The visuals, I mean, sure, they are groundbreaking, but it runs fine and looks better than most Wii games that were on the market. Acting like it looks worse than a Gamecube game? Like, have you seen worse than a Gamecube game? That's just a dog's ass. It didn't have online multiplayer. Sure, that's ridiculous in the context of the value of the package in comparison to other recent games at the time, but is that really a problem when you don't like the game to begin with? This game has horrible controls, bland track design, and worst of all, I can't play for hours on end with my buds. The core gameplay isn't horrible. I think there's something there to the ideas like the wild moves, but with the slow speed, limited number of unique courses, funky controls, lack of modes, and no real purpose to existing. Like, why would you play this? Oh yeah, that. You did it. All in a day's work. You know, I thought Barrel Blast was gonna be horrible. Nah, it was just bad. I remember my first time. Wasn't this your first time? Yeah, I remember it. The game, the curse hasn't lifted. People are still fucking. If people weren't still fucking, Rex would be senator. Oh, looks like you still have one challenge left. Wait, what? What? No. It doesn't matter. Barrel Blast is always going to exist no matter what, and as long as it's not forced upon anybody, who cares? We shouldn't judge people who play it or not. Playing it doesn't make you disgusting, or not playing it doesn't make you a loser. We're all adults here and on different paths of life. Maybe you've already played Barrel Blast, or maybe you haven't. But
I've never played it.
Make you a better or worse person because of it.
You know what? My uncle was a big fan of Barrel Blast. I kept hearing all these stories about people telling me, oh, he's so cool just because of it. Like, he was getting hyped up so much, he could finish the game in 14 seconds flat. My grandpa could do it in 10. But my aunt, she only played Barrel Blast the one time. My cousin could play it twice. Well, everybody thought less of her because of it. And I've distanced myself from that entire side of the family. I shouldn't have. I let my own personal way of life cloud my judgment of others. I get that I may be against everything this game stands for, but that doesn't mean other people should be chastised for doing what they love. Jeb, you're not a fucking creep. You're a fucking friend.
You know what? It was wrong of me to think so lowly of you because you didn't enjoy the game. I mean, I personally love Barrel Blast, but that doesn't mean you have to.
Even if I beat Barrel Blast, curse or no curse, it's not going to make people stop doing what they want to do. As long as they're not hurting others or themselves, what gives me the right to want them to conform to what I am? All that matters is that I'm comfortable with myself. No matter how much changes, I'm always going to be that virgin at heart, regardless of if I beat Barrel Blast or not. And I'm gonna. Oh, I'm beating this Donkey Kong game without having sex. Because I'm a virgin, damn it! You just don't look it up.
Oh yeah, I still have that portion to go. I'm just gonna finish this first because it's easier.
I did it.
I did it.
There's no other way to put it. It didn't look bad, but it screamed just another Mario game. And that was my biggest issue with it. It had that plastic, basic art style that the new Super Mario Bros. Games had. And while it was running in HD, Galaxy and the Wii still looked better. It had...
So you need some...
Dad's work. Meet daughter's playtime.
Wait till you hear this.
Thankfully, Metaportal helps reduce background noise.
Zero lace model.
Adjusts to low light.
It seems far out.
And pans and zooms to keep you in frame.
Take a look at this.
So the whole team stays on track. Metaportal.
Available at the Nintendo. Scratch that, I couldn't have picked it up. That's what you call a limited edition, only available in one specific place. At least here in the US it was. It was far more readily available in other countries. Want to know how I know that? Well, here's the European version of the same damn game, and here's the North American version. All they both come with is a damn shell. Well, if I can't own that stupid thing, I guess the only thing I can do is play this stupid fucking thing. This much fun inserting a disc, and I haven't even done anything yet. This is a glorious moment, and my ears are digging every second of it. Mario Kart 8 features live recorded music, and it goes for this jazzy vibe. Music in Mario Kart was never bad.
Yo, what's up, Logan?
Same. Like, here's the Mario Kart 7 title screen. I'm using Mario Kart Wii music here. For me. And again, they're not bad, but I don't hear any defining characteristics of a DS's music compared to Wii's or 7's. It has its own flavor, and the fact that it's all live recorded gives the soundtrack a feeling of significance until this point. The title screen's theme is amazing, and after a while it plays Super Mario Kart's title theme. And tons of Mario Karts have had the Super Mario Kart theme thrown into their main themes. There's something that feels so good about the implementation in 8.
We're going to do one.
I don't know what else I'm gonna do. On to the character selection.
I might.
So initially this would be your starting roster, and you'd unlock...
Because I woke up at 7, I might continue this until 7 p.m. That's 12 hours.
Definitely makes things pretty simple, but my god, did I work my ass off.
And I started it at like 7:05, so 7:05 is when it ends.
I'm so proud of the memory card they're on. I unlocked that.
We did a 5-hour stream yesterday. Why not bump it up with...
for multiple reasons.
7 more hours.
Mario Kart 8 has the highest number of playable characters in the series yet, but there are some baffling exclusions.
Oh, I'm building the birthday house.
When I said they introduced the Koopalings as characters, those are your new ones. You're welcome. This character selection is like a weird combination of Mario Kart Wii and 7's with some characters that make no sense to be.
No, the Diamond Minecart's over there. This is the birthday house.
Bowser Jr., Diddy Kong, Drybones, King Boo, Birdo, all not playable in this game at all, while Metal Mario returns from Mario Kart 7. Baby Peach and Baby Daisy return from Mario Kart Wii. And like I said, seeing the Koopalings playable in that original trailer was pretty cool, but they ended up being really the only new characters we got in this game, and when 7 of the 30 playable characters are variations of the exact same idea, but that's not all. We got 2 other new characters in the form of Baby Rosalina. Listen, as your resident Mario Galaxy player, that game had an entire backstory for Rosalina, and I will say Baby Rosalina makes no sense. Maybe Luigi, that's fine. And of course...
No, maybe Luigi, that's fine.
Metal Mario, you can somewhat give a pass to. We're going to have a metal version of Mario that's not part of Mario game for quite a while. And Mario Kart 8, that looks kind of cool. I don't like him here, but I won't waste a picket sign on him. Pink, Gold, Peach, and Baby Rosalina as well were never part of the Mario series prior to this game. They were put in here because they were easy peasy to develop. You just take the Baby Peach and Baby Daisy models and tweak them a bit, bam, Baby Rosalina. You take Peach and make her entirely pink gold, bam, skin disease. The Mario Kart 8 roster may be large, but it's so focused on filler that it doesn't feel like we have nearly as much variety as before. Don't get me wrong, there's still enough characters to choose from. The selection could be far worse, but Mario Kart Wii's had so much more variety in terms of characters of different shapes, sizes, colors. I'm not the biggest Birdo supporter, but I'd rather have 1 Birdo than 5 children. Let's see how much of this roster is pure fillers. We have 5 babies. At the most, I think 3 would be fine. So
okay.
Understandable,
my guy.
Lead poisoning. Cut 'em. All 7 of the Koopalings. Honestly, you just need Bowser Bowser Jr. to represent what they represent, so cut 6 of them, and the remaining one we could just label as a work-in-progress Bowser Jr. And there we have it, about 1/3 of the roster taken up by pure filler. The other 2/3 are just
Episode 4, baby!
Sticks out all too much. Well, moving on, card customization makes a return from Mario Kart 7, with the customization menu looking like they took the bottom screen in Mario Kart 7 and put it on my TV. Card customization is the exact same as it was in 7. It's fine, but I just end up thinking about how it was in Mario Kart Wii. It was a lot quicker to just pick your pre-made cart. Here it gives me the illusion of building my own vehicle, but it doesn't feel like my creation or anything. It just feels like it takes longer to pick a cart now. Well, let's get a move on to the tracks. We select the first cup.
Oh, also your mama, man.
It's possible appealing to Mario Kart 7. Y'all features that game introduced me to Return in 8, so hopefully it now makes sense why Mario Kart 7 is...
Yes, and also, again,
it's basically a
just to show you that I didn't work on Sword.
Pretty much the same, and of course, who could...
There he is.
Seriously, who could? It's 5 letters, it's not that hard. The first person you did in Return, though, can we really call this a sequel? Now, considering this is a Wii U game, surely this game utilizes the Wii U's controller, right? You'd be surprised, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is a Wii U game. And it doesn't. I remember when the Wii U was first being rumored, the only thing people really knew at that point was that the controller would have a screen, and a specific idea people had was making that screen the rear view mirror in a Mario Kart game. That would be hell. Imagine having to look up and down from the gamepad to the TV screen. God. Nah, here they have some light touchscreen.
Dark.
People live that way. And during a race, it's a horn. I love that this controller single-handedly made the Wii U far more expensive than it had to be, and its biggest game's core use of it is a...
Oh, that was my other alarm for 8.
We can display what's on the TV and show off a map, which is handy. But you'd think you'd be able to do split-screen multiplayer this way, with one person getting their own full view on the gamepad.
Understandable, mate. Just work on that, and then you can probably join.
The gamepad's display is a split-screen.
We're 1 hour in already. Holy crap.
Multiplayer in Mario Kart 8 is lacking in general, not only due to the lack of asymmetrical multiplayer support, but because when you play with 3 or more people, the frame rate gets cut. I'm not that picky, but it is very noticeable how much choppier this game gets when playing with more people. It's fine, but it's just a bit jarring. It's probably more noticeable because outside of multiplayer with 3+ people, this game is smooth as butter. It looks and feels incredible. The character models look outstanding. The lighting and the small little details on the tracks, the vehicles, the drivers themselves. This is not only the best looking Mario Kart game, but one of the best looking Nintendo games in general. These tracks are filled to the brim with details. All these racing advertisements and nods to the Mario universe make these courses truly feel like they're a part of the Mario world and not just random Mario Kart tracks. They didn't cheap out on any area. Other than the audience here goes, like, come on, the first of the game looks so good, but you're just gonna make the audience look like those ones. Of course, Mario Kart 8 features anti-gravity racing, something unlike anything Mario Kart's experienced thus far, and you're staring at it right now. This is anti-gravity racing. It's not the same as regular racing, I swear. Anti-gravity in Mario Kart 8's a bit weird, considering it seemed like it was gonna be a much more obvious feature in the marketing there. The camera really sells you on the gimmick. If a racer's on the ceiling, they'll be upside down. In the actual game, the camera stays consistently
what the hell?
at the same angle all the time. So if you're upside down, it's not immediately.
Oh, what the hell?
Side of walls that you'll instantly know. When you pass a blue strip, you'll shift to the sides and you just gain a hover cart. When you bump into these safety hazards from the racers, you get a little boost. And that remains consistent until you pass a blue strip again. Then we're back to reality. Anti-gravity may have seemed like a marketing gimmick. I didn't say it wasn't. The trailers and commercials really pushed it, making it seem like a big thing. It always showed racers upside down and all around, while when you're actually playing the game, I may be upside down here, but this feels like your everyday Mario Kart. It's not even that noticeable when you're on the ceiling. But what anti-gravity truly adds is insane track design. Now that the developers don't have to uphold to the laws of physics, because we all know that was a Mario Kart constant in the past, these tracks can go absolutely wild. They twist all around and make older courses feel pedestrian by comparison. It's a similar addition to the underwater sections of Mario Kart 7. It doesn't initially feel that different, but when you look at how it affects the track design, it definitely allows for far more creativity. It's truly game-changing and makes these courses not only aesthetically interesting, but allows for the core layout to be as well. Item-wise, We have the main saves at this point. Basically, everything returns from Mario Kart 7 except for the Super Leaf and Lucky 7. Instead, this time we got the Crazy 8. It's the same as the Lucky 7, but now it's a coin thrown into the mix.
Just I won't be
The Piranha
able.
Plant is new and appears in front of you for a short period of time, fighting anything nearby you, racers, items, you name it. It automatically chomps, and each time it does, you speed up a bit, but you can jam on the item button if you just want to get it over with. The Boomerang Cloud
Understandable, mate.
behind you 3 times, and the Super Horn blasts everything around it and can destroy anything. It can piss other racers' aspirations, and most notably, the blue spiny shell. Prior to this, you would have to use a mushroom to outrun a blue shell, and even then, that was tricky. I've looked up videos on people outrunning the blue shell in Mario Kart Wii just because I couldn't imagine that ever happening. I also looked up what happens when you get a blue shell in the first place. This is an item that you always want on you in first place, and it's always a tough decision regarding whether or not to use it on a red shell that's about to hit you, for example, or wait for a blue shell to appear to use it on, because most of the time, if you end up securing a super horn, that means a blue shell is soon to follow. Overall, the new items are all okay. I don't mind the Boomerang or Piranha Plant, but they just don't really leave much of an impression. I don't really feel that empowered when I get them, but the super horn is a very strategic weapon, and I love its inclusion because it ties into one of the biggest problems people had with Mario Kart 8 that I absolutely love. See, in previous status, you could hold on to something like a banana peel to defend yourself from the back. While defending yourself, you could grab another item to store in your item slot. Here in Mario Kart 8, you can only hold on to one item at a time. If you're defending yourself with a banana, you can't grab another item in reserve. On top of that, I initially refused to mention that coins can now be an option in the item roulette, which makes them an immediate threat to public health. Yes, there's just not enough coins on the track. When I grab an item box, I'm asking for a coin. Yeah, getting a coin as an item is incredibly annoying, but that adds this interesting strategy to Mario Kart 8. You can use up your item to grab another item, but it may be a coin and leave you defenseless. You have to wager your options every time you use an item. In previous games, when you pass through an item box, you'd get something that you can defend yourself with at the very least. Here, I don't know. I like the element of strategy that the single slot and coin item bring in here. Everybody else fucking hated it. I can see why. Like I said, the new items aren't that cool. They're fine, but couple that with only one item in the coins, and this is one of the more boring Mario Karts item-wise. The balancing is actually pretty good. I mean, there are some times I got a crazy hit in like 3rd place. I don't remember selling my soul for that. But mostly, this is one of the lesser bullshit Mario Karts. It feels much more fair. There's a very clear strategy to use with the items. Okay. But since I recently played Mario Kart Wii, that is so obviously more frustrating with its item balancing, but my god, it was more interesting. Mario Kart 8's items feel too bland, and when I look back at the garbage I put up with in Mario Kart
Excuse me, is that slabs?
I kind of miss it in comparison. The balancing was so crazy that it made it fun in its own way. I'm not saying its balancing is completely boring. Like I said, I like the strategy involved with items now, but Mario Kart Double Dash and Wii felt more like what everybody expects out of Mario Kart. Craziness happening at every moment. With 8, I feel way more on autopilot with these items. Hold on to the banana until somebody throws a shell at it. Grab another item box. Pray it's not a coin, son of a bitch. Grab another item box. And I like the items set up in this game. Well, I still do, but I can at least see why a lot of people did it. But one thing I hope we can all agree on is how amazing literally...
I thought that was slabs, to be honest.
They hit it out of the park. Every track is at the very least pretty damn good. They all have their own unique...
That's what you're saying? It looks like it's slabs.
Every game had a couple of courses that shared music. Here it's...
Oh no, I was just saying if that was slabs, because that looked like slabs.
Have this wonderful flair to them. And then we have the tracks that are incredibly complicated, and they're a joy to experience. I just love the selection in this one. Starting out in the Mushroom Cup Mario Kart Stadium. I love the atmosphere here. It feels like I'm a superstar. Water Park, an oddly generic name for a water park that is very obviously themed after Wario. This is my favorite feature of Mario Kart 8. Drama. Sweet Sweet Canyon is all about donuts and the sort. It's a wild track to describe that makes you look pretty insane if you try to. Donuts everywhere. Bump Ruins is cool because there's a section here that utilizes anti-gravity gliding and underwater sections. New Face Rock's own Ruins. Mario Circuit, the Mobius strip the game's name is based off of. I never really think of this track for the figure 8 design. I usually remember it for Trauma. Toad Harbor. Well, if Toad's here, that's gotta mean it's good. This is just a very happy-feeling track. The sunshine, the cable cars, all the different pathways to race on. This is one of the first tracks I think of when thinking Mario Kart 8. Twisted Mansion. Do you really think a haunted house would be scary when flooded? If I'm underwater, the last thing I'm freaking out over is a ghost. I love the rippling floors and the knights attacking you at the end of this one. Then there's Shy Guy Falls. I usually kind of group this one together with Wump Ruins in my mind, but they're pretty different tracks. Drive up a waterfall, there's this little nook you can fly into. Completely different. Sunshine Airport. This would not fly in real life, but it does make for a fantastic fantastic track. I do wish they had a longer section inside the airport itself, but I can't really complain considering outside is probably way more interesting. Dolphin Shoals is about jumping in and out of water, riding on an eel. Again, this is physically improbable. Electrodrome is the highlight course of the game. It's the most visually and musically appealing. So many colors and lights with the music being synced up to the action, and it's followed up by Mount Wario. One big track, 3 sections. You start from a plane and you travel throughout the ski resort to the end, and the music adapts to what segment of the race you're on. This is it. This is the best cup in Mario Kart history. Oh, I gotta see what follows. Oh my god. Well, Glad Top Cruise is fantastic. I mean, it has a Mario Galaxy remix as its background music. You can throw up in my face to Mario Galaxy music, and I'd say that's a good Mario Kart track. But then we move on to Bone Dry Dunes. This is probably my least favorite track in the game. It's not bad at all, but it's easily one of the least inspired feeling ones. I just don't really like desert areas in games. Out of all the tracks here, this is the one I could care the least about visiting in real life. Like, what is there to do here?
Okay, there's a
How this
problem.
giant Bowser attacks the different pathways, but it ends.
What do you mean?
Rainbow
Is there a
Road,
problem?
obviously the biggest staple of any Mario Kart. All the games have to end with their own iteration of the iconic track. With this game having anti-gravity as a gimmick, I couldn't wait to see Mario Kart 8's Rainbow Road, especially after seeing the N64 one remade. This is lame. It's not a bad track, it's just pretty basic. Definitely in comparison to Mario Kart 7's version. You go on a Rainbow Road, that's a good start, and then we go into a space station, and then go into another Rainbow Road, and repeat. It's fine, but for how amazing all the other tracks are, it's shocking to me Rainbow Road with the anti-gravity mechanic is so basic in this game. But like I said, it's still a good track. All of these are. And that's just half the story, with the other 16 being the retro tracks. Obviously, these have been a feature in the series for quite a long time, but most games, they felt like filler. More tracks to give you more content. It was nice to have them, sure, but you could almost always tell what was a retro track.
Minecraft.
In Mario Kart 8, they completely redid everything, and the retro tracks look just as new, if not newer, than the new tracks. They added anti-gravity, remade all the music, even changed up some things aesthetically. Like Mumble Meadows from Mario Kart 8 takes place during sunrise, and it's gorgeous now. I love the tracks they picked here. And sure, they had to pick courses they didn't remaster previous games yet, so some favorites didn't make the cut, but my god, we have some great ones. It's so fun to see Mumble Meadows,
Story time.
Royal Raceway, Wario Stadium, Yoshi Valley, TikTok.
Bro, I don't even have eyes. Why am I putting this on my head?
Or Rainbow Road. But they changed it to be a 3-section track rather than a.
I am gonna go grab my Switch and see what
that it was overly long to complete. Online is back and it works great. Instead of giving you the option to select any track in the game to play online with random people, it now gives you a random selection of 3, which I prefer. I found that when you give me 32 tracks to choose from, the problem with just getting you to pick the same one over and over again was going to take too long to pick one. Having 3 makes it way easier to pick and keeps tracks from repeating too often. Online is great in this one, but it's really hard to make friends with people and ask them for their email with these pre-made chats. We can save replays and edit them with Mario Kart TV, post them to YouTube and Beaver. Not anymore, it was a stupid feature anyways. You'd be able to create 30-second highlight reels of your race, but it wasn't that big of a deal to me. Well, in terms of other modes, stamps. You get stamps in this game for completing time trials and beating Grand Prix with different characters. You were originally able to use these stamps on Beavers, not anymore, it was a stupid feature anyways. Speaking of Grand Prix, when you finish one, you just get a highlight reel from one of your races. Not the traditional award ceremony cutscene. I mean, it's not a big deal, at least we get these cool trophies. They're such amazing designs, we can even touch them with our thumbs on the gamepad. But the lack of a cutscene, sure, the way it's presented here makes sense in the context of the whole Mario Kart TV thing, but was this game rushed? Obviously no, not my Mario Kart 8. They put so much love and attention in every little detail with this game. This was probably an example of them going, no, we want this to make Mario Kart TV feel more like a sports broadcast thing. Either way, we have one more mode to check out, and that is Battle Mode. What the f*** is that? Battle Mode has been a staple of the Mario Kart series ever since the very beginning, but seemingly was getting less and less attention with each entry. And of course, with Mario Kart 8, Nintendo barely mentioned it until damn near 20 seconds after release. Balloon Battle is all we got here, and... wait, Balloon Meadows? That's a track. Oh my god. Wait, I'm not supposed to talk about this yet. Let's talk about the updates. So Mario Kart 8 wasn't perfect right out the gate. It wasn't perfect ever. There were a few big issues at launch, like after a race, the option to move on to the next race would be the second option. The first option was view the highlight reel. Also, the map wasn't available on the TV screen, you could only view it on the gamepad. they fixed these via a free update in August of 2014 that arrived alongside
No, you let me! No, you let us down!
What made you want a Mercedes? Well, it plays Roy Koopa a lot, and the GLA goes with his eyes. It was really weird.
I should really turn on the hood.
Placement in a Mario game, but I've only lost a couple nights of sleep because of it. But during the summer of 2014, it was fully announced Mario Kart 8 would be getting paid DLC packs while crossing over with various Nintendo IPs. You could pre-purchase the DLC packs for $12 in total, or $8 separately, and it was an insane deal. 6 new characters, 16 new tracks, car parts, and for buying both, we got multicolored Shy Guys and Yoshi's. Yes! So DLC Pack 1 offers 2 new cups, the Egg Cup and the Triforce Cup, alongside Tanuki Mario and Cat Peach and Link. Guess which one's the most interesting? The tracks offered across these are amazing. Yoshi Circuit for Double Dash is back, Excite Bike Arena is a tribute to Excite Bike, and it's so much fun and so many ramps and areas to do tricks off of. Dragon Driftway is awesome, and Mute City was the most Nintendo's acknowledged F-Zero in years. Wario's Gold Mine from Wii and SNES Rainbow Road made a comeback, and the retro tracks they brought back were a bit more interesting than some of the ones they picked for the base game, like
Don't know if you guys know this, but if you place hay underneath the campfire, the smoke will go higher.
And Hyrule Circuit, a wonderful trip.
Why am I floating?
Awesome. It came at the perfect time for me, right when I was starting to get a little.
I'll be right back. I have to go to the bathroom.
To spice it up.
Send me an invite.
Oh, no, wrong thing. Oh. Nope. Sounds like ninja music.
Force out of these GBA tracks, but it's not really anything that stands out to me. A Wild Woods felt like a lesser Maple Tree away from Mario Kart Wii to me. And Animal Crossing, nice name. It's a fun course. The type of season is randomly decided, so it stays pretty fresh. But then there's a Neo Bowser City from Mario Kart 7. This just wasn't interesting enough to warrant bringing back. Ribbon Road from GBA is a pretty cool one, though. It's in a kid's room and has a lot of fun details. Super Bell Subway is okay, and we have another F-Zero track. I'm not complaining, but I can if I want to. Just make a new F-Zero, Nintendo. I'm a Nintendo fan. That's a catchphrase of mine. Of course, Villager and Isabelle from Animal Crossing became playable alongside Dry Bowser. Thank God he's back! So the DLC rounded out Mario Kart 8 quite well. We have more tracks than ever with a better character selection. It's cool to see Nintendo willing to do more crossover content with Mario Kart, but that was far from the biggest story here. They added 200cc to the game alongside DLC Pack 2 as a free update. My God, it was too fast. I remember this was a pain to get a hold of originally. You had to do a lot more braking on corners while drifting, and most of these tracks were never designed for this kind of speed. But it was a cool little free update to a game that was already one of the best Mario Kart experiences, hands down. It's the best looking Mario Kart, the best sounding Mario Kart, the best controlling Mario Kart, with the best tracks in the series, hands down. I'm a bit bummed out by the lack of things to do in the game outside of racing. Like, basically, play the Grand Prix and play online. That's all you can really do. But when it comes down to it, Mario Kart 8 was the definitive experience at the time of its release. But they just had to fuck up the battle mode. So they didn't put any battle tracks in here. They just used existing ones. Okay, that's already lame. But they couldn't have even been bothered to alter the tracks just a bit to make them more suitable for battle mode. They're terrible. They're so big and designed to loop around. They aren't small, closed-in arenas like battle tracks should be. And out of all the tracks to choose, why Yoshi Valley? Why Toad Harbor? And when you die in battle mode, you come back as a ghost and can still hurt the other players. That's not fair. What the hell are they doing with this mode? It's ridiculous.
The right building, a lot of that. The torsos are... But we won't do. So, if you want to make it, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need black wool. Grey, light grey wool, dark blue, cyan, brown wool, yep. It was released on the Xbox 360. It's going to give you a bit of a twirl of now. I was going to design my own Avengers, but Minecraft beat me to it. What are you going to do? So, if you want to make it, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need black wool, dark grey, light grey wool, dark blue, cyan, brown wool, yellow,
dark blue, cyan,
and finally, second, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need black wool, dark grey, light grey wool, dark blue, cyan, brown wool, yellow, red, and finally, sandstone block. I think that we're only going to be needing one more colour, and I think that's light blue for the eyes. But we won't be needing that for a very long time. So, once you've got your colours and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'm going to be making it right here. You're going to want to start out with a row 8 black wool in a row on the floor. So, one entirely side, another row of dark blue to give you a bit of a stripy pattern. Next row, you want to do a single black wool on the ends of the row, like that. You then want to fill the middle section in with cyan wool. Next row is very similar, except this time you want to do 2 black on the ends of the row coming towards the centre, and then fill the centre in with cyan wool. Next row, we're going to be doing this a little differently, so here's what you want to do. On the ends of the next row, you're going to want to do 4 dark blue going directly up, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the front of the row as well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next to the dark blue, you're going to want to do equal rows of black right next to them, so just 2 rows of 4 black. then what you want to do is you want to fill this entire middle section that you're left with in with cyan wool. So just fill that section in with cyan wool, and you should be left with something. Oops. All over the place. You should be left with something.
You should be left with something. Something, not something good, but something.
So, pause that if necessary. Make sure you've got that right. Once you've done that, we're going to be moving on to the torso. And I'm just going to give you a bit of a warning here. The torso is kind of tricky. So it's going to be a lot of left to right building, a lot of that. The torso's the hardest part. It's going to take us the longest amount of time to make. Once you've done this, the rest is going to be easy. So, for the first row of the torso, you're just going to want to, of course, come up to the top of the legs, and you're just going to want to do an entire row of black. Next row. Next row, you're going to want to place 2 dark blue in the center of the next row. You're then going to want to place a single black on the ends of the row, and then you're just going to want to fill the rest of the row in with dark grey wool. Next row, you're going to want to do this. Middle of the row wants to be dark blue. Directly next.
Rated M for mature. Power is nothing without the mind to control it. A king is not crowned without first slaying his demons. Face death. Never stop.
Light gives us clarity. It illuminates possibilities.
Hey, y'all, Scott here. What'll it be?
Mario Kart 8.
This is a bar. Alright, so... Hey, y'all, Scott here. What'll it be? Mario Kart 8! This is a bar. Wait, what is happening? I already talked. Mario Kart 8 before. See, that's the fun quirk of talking about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The space-time continuum thinks you're just talking about Mario Kart 8 again, so it just gives up. If you talk about the same thing twice, the world doesn't know how to handle it. So, we have to convince God that 8 Deluxe isn't just Mario Kart 8 again, and we aren't just repeating history. And I should get new shoes. So Mario Kart 8 came out. Want a new game? No. Yeah, Mario Kart 8 did quite well. Selling over 8 million units on the Wii U, selling better than games that were almost always bundled in with the console. That's embarrassing. But 8 million isn't a lot in the grand scheme of Mario Kart. I mean, how could you possibly only sell 8 million copies of something? It was all because of the console it was stranded on, the Wii U. I mean, the system itself sold less than 2 times more. I think it's fair to say this number wasn't Mario Kart 8's fault. I mean, Mario Kart 8 was a phenomenal game. And not perfect by any means. If you read the book, you'd get it. But still, it had the best presentation of any Mario Kart, the best track design. Most tracks out there after DLC was released. They even sped up falling off a course and getting back on it. They were ruthless with making this game good. However, it had downsides. Many people didn't like the character selection. This graph shows exactly how many didn't. In fact, you could only hold one item at a time. This graph shows who did like that. And the battle mode, or the lack of a good one. It's somewhat frustrating to see this beautiful package with some little blemishes that were almost all entirely done due to time constraints. Mario Kart 8 just improved on these things. We might have the greatest Mario Kart, hell, even greatest racing game of all time on our hands. It's a shame the game was updated for the final time in May of 2015. It's a shame they never fixed many of these issues. It's a shame the game was only available to Wii U owners. Isn't it fun to be stupid? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Just a guess, an upgraded version of Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U? This was released for the Wii U's successor, the Nintendo Switch, shortly after its launch in March of 2017, and it just kept selling. Most people who go into the store to get milk every week buy another copy of 8 Deluxe and excited. It's sold more than double, triple Mario Kart 8 sold on Wii U. I think we have a winner on our hands. Mario Kart 8 felt better. That's the best compliment you can give a person. So we gotta check this out. It's gotta be Mario Kart 8. I played quite a bit of Mario Kart 8 on Wii U. Online multiplayer every day for a few months. But the new game is meant to last forever. And Mario Kart 8 was let's see, 2016 rolls around, right? And it's the worst. It's dreadful. It is the year of not being a Nintendo fan. That other year was filled with what? No games, games, bad games.
gonna get breakfast. Kick it!
Mario Kart 8. A group of friends decided to play it in the car. Fancy was playing on one of the DLC tracks from King with 2 item slots. Holy shit. This looked exactly like Mario Kart 8. Over. Lucky for the human race, directly after the presentation wrapped up, Nintendo exploded online with information about games coming to the Switch, including a full trailer for a game called Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Why didn't they talk about this during the presentation? Well, I'm sure they wanted to focus on new experiences coming to the Nintendo Switch, rather than highlight an old Wii U game of theirs coming over. It's smart to do that with a new console, to really show how the Switch will be home to brand new experiences rather than old ones. And a couple of years later after that presentation, my favorite games on the Switch are the Wright Brothers' First Flight and the Agricultural Revolution. There's nothing but old shit on this thing. The trailer Nintendo released focused on battle mode with an actual battle mode in it. Oh yes! New characters like Bowser Jr., King Boo, and Dry Bones. Oh yes! Splatoon content like the Inklings in a battle stage of their own. Oh yes! The Feather and Boo items were returning. I'm not making a big deal about everything. You know, after they previewed this game initially in 2016, a rumor emerged saying how Mario Kart on Switch was going to be a souped-up Mario Kart 8 with an improved battle mode, new characters, and new tracks. Let's see those new tracks. This is the best Mario Kart of all time. After the Switch presentation, gameplay demos started happening. This was where we learned about the Joy-Con wheel, a Wii wheel wannabe for the Switch controllers. You know what? I appreciate the effort, not enough to support it, but enough to ask people if they actually bought Joy-Con wheels. More battle modes were teased, and a bit later we got a full-blown overview trailer showcasing all of the new content and changes made to this version. 8 Deluxe came out on the Nintendo Switch on April 28, 2017, about 2 months after the system's launch, which was lucrative to its success. A Mario Kart on your system that early on, regardless of it being asshole, that's ass-big. And Nintendo knew this. I mean, they went all out. Target got rebranded with a Mario Kart theme. They offered bonus knickknacks with the purchase of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at Target. They mainly went for the Target crowd on this one. I was so excited for this. The fact we were getting a Mario Kart this early after a system's launch, that was incredible. I was already still pretty jazzed about the Switch launching, so add a new Mario Kart on top of that, I was thrilled. That was Mario Kart. First, let's talk about this box because, oh my god. I mean, Mario Kart 8 was already quite good, but the characters posing, the colors, the overall layout just makes this feel so much more definitive. The Nintendo outsiders are even given their own spotlight here. A little strange they're using N64 Rainbow Road as the track for the box art, considering it's not an original track, but at least this is confirmation from Nintendo that N64 Rainbow Road looks better than Mario Kart 8 Rainbow Road. God, isn't it crazy how the Wii U game and then some is packed all in this one little card? I mean, you can fold the disc multiple times to get to this level of compact, but the fact Mario Kart 8 is in a card smaller than Mario Kart 7 DS Super Circuit, that's why.
Why do we connect?
So when we start the game up, we still get the loading screen from the original, but it's slightly less organic looking now. See, when you start up a Wii U game, there's this startup screen, and that screen transitions smoothly into the title screen. In 8 Deluxe, they try to squeeze everything about this startup screen in here, even though the game loads so much faster now, so it just looks weird and unnecessary. But look at this title screen. It's so nice to see Mario Kart fully embrace color again. For a while there, I think they just forgot what a background looks like. There's quite a bit of new art at play here. Like this Toad. We can back out of the main menu and have an actual damn title screen for once. They changed quite a bit here when it came to the menu options and layout. For example, Mario Kart TV is now down here. Online with 1 or 2 players now appears as an option while hovering over online play rather than being 2 separate options. Wireless play is now here, meaning playing between 2 or more Switch consoles. LAN play is available by holding the shoulder buttons and clicking the left stick in. Why is this a cheat code? The DLC shop icon is gone because there's no DLC to shop. The options down here are more detailed with new icons. These options are the prickles of Mario Kart 8's body. The character select screen has been reorganized and tweaked. Some characters that were once alternate costumes are separate character slots now, i.e. the villager girl and boy. Characters are organized in a much more organic way here in my opinion. Everything's unlocked from the get-go except for car parts. They removed the stamps. So, who's ready for me to fucking lose it? I mean, I get why Deluxe doesn't have these. I mean, their entire purpose was to use the Miiverse, which doesn't exist on Nintendo Switch. At this very moment, it doesn't exist on Wii U. But you would get stamps after completing things like Grand Prix or Time Trials. It would have been a nice little extra collectible even if they effectively didn't do anything. At the very least, Nintendo could email me good job after buying a game of theirs. So, on to the characters. We have everybody returning from Mario Kart 8, but now with some slightly altered stats. It's like how I have 2 driver's licenses, you know, sometimes I'm feeling 150, sometimes 480. But of course, some new characters were added. Bowser Jr., King Boo, and Dry Bones. Cool. And these are an amazing addition. They've all been in Mario Kart in the past, and they should have been in here from the start. Why not delve into characters that haven't been in Mario Kart before instead of drawing a circle for the 3rd time? But we have the Inklings from Splatoon. They fit in pretty well and round out the non-Mario characters. But if you get through all the 200cc cups, you get Gold Mario as an alternate costume for Metal Mario. The roster is saved. Gold Mario and no stamps? This has got to be the best Mario Kart of all time! Well, by a technicality. This is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It reminds me of, Mario Kart 8. It's really different, guys. The item roulette has a zit now. Yes, 2 items can be held at once. It's basically like most Mario Karts before 8, but this is slightly different. Originally, holding 2 items so cool like a hot skill to have in any game that you can't get in previous game. Here, it's 8 Deluxe is making it new. It's something that you get grab 2 items. Double item boxes from double dash return is the middle one. Strategy. You're often placed in slightly unconventional areas. Risk it all for a double item box or completely red. Of course, 2 item slots means there are more items lying around. Does make the game entertainingly hectic. However, I will always appreciate what the original game did by having only 1 item slots. That strategy or scientific purpose of the coin item. Every item you grab became almost at risk of being the coin item you barely battles in. Considering when you grab a double item box, you will most definitely get at least 1 at a time. Coins lost over meaning it's supposed to miss spot out to
Got myself another Pepsi to add to the collection of bottles I have.
For some reason, the camera's closer on Lenny ass. When you use these things, it's pretty immersive. It truly feels like I'm using cardboard to stare at a turtle. So that's it. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is obviously
I love Pepsi.
Mario Kart at the time of its release. I just don't feel much of a connection to it. I remember being super excited for this game coming out. For some reason, I felt this was going to feel like a new Mario Kart experience. And then when I sat down and played it, I realized, wow, this is Mario Kart 8. I'm bummed there were no racing.
Whoa.
From the get-go makes this a super easy Mario Kart to jump into, but not really one I could warrant playing for nearly as much as I did with 8 on Wii U initially. Mario Kart 8 was exciting because it was new. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was exciting because it's the full package. Of course, no matter what, people kept predicting Mario Kart 8 Deluxe would get DLC every year after its release.
I can't use the CCMC video because there is no such thing as blue stained player.
Okay, so this is what it looks like when they don't put new shoes and the universe collapses on itself. So now this for next time.
And the other videos are too fast and don't exist.
No, there is such thing as blue stained clay, but it's called blue terracotta. They changed stained clay into terracotta. Logan, help me. Help, I'm drunk. I drank one too many Pepsis. Help. Help me. Oh, there we go. It's called blue terracotta. Yeah, it's called terracotta. Not stained clay anymore, sadly, man. No. I don't want it like this. That looks dumb. We are castaways. Hello there. Hello. Bro, am I spelling purple wrong? How? How am I spelling purple wrong? Okay, that time I spelled it wrong. P-U-R-P-L-E you. Oh. Yo, Logan, look at me. I'm punching you in the face. Get punched, son. Hello there. Hello. We are castaways. Hello there. Hello.
What time is it in your country?
8:48 a.m. Hey, do I have to crouch to pick the block? Hold up.
Oh, okay.
Let's try with flat wall. Oh, I don't even need the crouch on here. Cool. So I can just pick boom. Got that boom, boom, boom. Gotta get that boom, boom. Ah! Sucker, I can fly. Ooh, Logan's house. One time I filled his entire house with bees. It wasn't me. Yo, what's up? Little gangster, yo, what's up?
Big game today! Everybody ready? Alexa, ask Duke to start my enclave. Starting your Buick enclave.
I just love our new Alexa.
Dad, it's a Buick.
I love that new Alexa smell.
It's a Buick. We need snacks for the team. Alexa, take us to the nearest grocery store. Getting directions.
Alexa will get us there in no time.
It's a Buick.
Speed real. Don't make me turn this Alexa around.
Oh my.
Buick Enclave with available Alexa built-in. Ask a...
Hey y'all!
Alexa!
Here, I have to make a decision. My life depends on it. What do I take? This one does have numbers. It's once again time to talk about Sonic. The Hedgehog.
Huh?
Hey, last time we checked in on him, he just absolutely crushed his third, fourth game. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was a fantastic experience. It just felt incomplete. The stages in Sonic CD, Sonic 2, even Sonic 1 technically. The level design, power-ups, the sheer polish. It was on a completely new level. When Sonic 3 thought it was getting started, the credits rolled. But see, it wasn't meant to be this way. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was planned as the biggest Sonic adventure yet. So big they had to cut the game in half to meet deadlines. It just couldn't fit the full adventure on one card at a time. The Sega Genesis cartridges can't even hold me. But they can big. Thus, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is worse than Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Part 1, with Part 2 releasing later that same year, under the name Sonic and Knuckles. It's brilliant, really. If you were in the know, you knew this was Sonic 3 Part 2, but if you weren't, then this just seemed like its own Sonic game. You could totally play it like that. Bad for those who picked up Sonic 3 without this knowledge and felt like it was lacking, though. The level-select code is so damn hard to pull off in this game. You have to be faster than slow in putting this in. It's obvious why they made it so difficult. Levels that weren't in the game are on the list, implying Sonic 3 are bigger in scope from the initial release. With 3 releasing in February of '94, 7 days until June of that year, a new Sonic title for the fall with just a logo, date, and name. Sonic and Knuckles. It released on October 18th and featured something new, something revolutionary, something we all can't live without. Lock-on technology. What a picture my life without this stuff.
Hello.
Yes, it was the answer to my question. Sonic and Knuckles comes on this power tool of a cartridge with down your cartridge port on top. Like these double-livered game cartridges for Atari, this thing's always lead to amazing experiments. They're kissing, but Sonic and Knuckles is special. The lock-on technology logo just for this occasion. Now with a cartridge port on top, 3DS, Scott, what are you gonna do? Check it. This allows you to create Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and presto! You have Sonic the Hedgehog 3 as it was originally intended. Sonic 3 ended initially, and now continues on the levels from Sonic and Knuckles looks at a ton of other features. However, we can also connect Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and with this, we get Knuckles in Sonic 2. If you ever think humanity is a waste, we did this. It's literally just Sonic 2, but you play as Knuckles now, which honestly is just as cool now as it was back then. It's commonly said, but it's true. Sonic and Knuckles was like downloadable content before downloadable content. They couldn't stop connecting to Sonic 3. I mean, the entire point of lock-on technology was to give players the definitive full Sonic 3 experience. But they threw us a bone with Knuckles and Sonic 2, and on top of that, by connecting Sonic 1 or most other Sega Genesis games for that matter, you can play an endless amount of Blue Sphere bonus stages from Sonic 3. 134,217,728 Blue Sphere bonus stages to be exact. That's still pretty fun. I mean, I like Blue Sphere, but after that 30,000th time, it's okay. Actually, any random Sega Genesis game after pressing all the buttons on your controller will give you a random Blue Sphere stage. Sonic 1 will give you the stages level by level, but how would you know that? If you have any game other than Sonic 3 or Sonic 2 on the top, it just says, no way, no way. Don't mock me with some of my favorite music in the entire Sonic franchise playing in the background. Just give me the damn spheres! I think if they did more stuff like Knuckles being in Sonic 2, now that would have been wild. This comes from Sonic 1, though they decided against it, considering Knuckles' playstyle to just not fit that game well. I would have still taken it compared to just Blue Sphere, though. I mean, Knuckles doesn't fit Sonic 2 that great either. However, there's still a certain magic to plugging games into this cartridge and seeing new junk. It's something I'm surprised more games didn't do. Like, come on, you put all this work into a lock-on logo, at least license it out to something like guns. Now, Sonic and Knuckles was a Sonic game I haven't known physically until just recently. I think that's because since this is a later Genesis game, they used cardboard for the box. So I always thought, oh, I see Sonic and Knuckles at this game store, but I'll just wait until I find a copy in better condition. That day never came. So I bought this one on eBay, and now I can finally feel a game that I've only merely just lot. I mean, a lot of the first stage. All I said was I thought Knuckles was a girl. Never said I wasn't bad at games too. Well, it's been a wild ride. For the past 4 years, I've played through each of the classic Sonic games, and now I've reached the final one. The final one. I'm finally ready to not get late for the 5th time. Let's start off with vanilla Sonic and Knuckles. Regardless of how incomplete the cartridge looks, let's play Sonic and Knuckles.
So I climbed into the cab and then I settled down inside. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
I'll give the game this. The title screen is much better than Sonic 3's. Every time that one started out, I flinched. So we get to choose between 2 characters. And one of them's Jimmy Buffett. No, it's just Sonic and... Oh, shit, they got Knuckles in this game? I always thought this was a typo. Strangely, these are the only options we have. We gotta pick a character we want to play the entire game. Because when we select it, that's it. We're in the game. No cutscene or shot.
I want to see if it's possible to die to entity cramming.
They needed to cut costs. I mean, it's expensive to put another...
What do you mean, hell?
They just expected to plug Sonic 3 into the cart to get full saving functionality across the whole game. However, this was sold as its own game on top of being...
Oh, technically...
It's like a password feature or something would have been nice. Hopping into the game. It's Sonic 3. At least in terms of presentation, level design philosophy, power-ups, controls, special stages, Sonic and Knuckles is just the second half of Sonic 3, which is made incredibly obvious by the first stage. This just doesn't really feel like a first level in a Sonic game. It's too busy. I mean, it's a fun zone, but it just doesn't feel like any of the other titles in the series. This is obviously the halfway point in a game. And this was where I got stuck as a kid. So you get to this lever tech device and Sonic just hangs there, and I thought, well, I've done everything I can do. In reality, you're supposed to hit down multiple times to seesaw up. I was a sheltered child. My parents didn't let me use this button until 14. Of course, we can also play as Knuckles, though we have to decide to play as the entire game as Sonic or the entire game as Knuckles at the start. We can change your mind later. Sonic and Knuckles is harder than choosing a major. Well, this is because Knuckles and Sonic's stories throughout the adventure are different. They're similar, and most of the levels are the same, though some differences based on the character you select, with some of the boss fights. But both characters have their own abilities. You pick Sonic because you're too insecure about deviating from the norm. You pick Knuckles if you climb walls and fly. Could Knuckles give him that ability? No, apparently it's dreadlocks. Okay, good, that's cleared up. Knuckles moveset is a bit tricky to get down. Let's give us a perfect balance of a playable Sonic character. Knuckles is hard mode, Sonic is normal, and Tails is easy. So why can't I find him? Easy to use, easier to lose. If Sonic and Knuckles on its own is just like Sonic 3. Wait 1 second. Just like Sonic 3. Tails isn't even with Sonic in his levels. At the very least, I would have expected that. Without the save feature, cutscene and Tails, Sonic and Knuckles brings us back to a simpler time, the worst time of my life. I know why it's like that. Sonic and Knuckles has to act as both a part 2 and as a standalone game. So strip out these features and make them accessible when plugging Sonic 3 into the cart. But at the end of the day, Sonic and Knuckles on its own feels like a tremendous step back from Sonic 3. I mean, it feels just like Sonic 1 without even an opening cutscene. Speaking of the opening cutscene, I'm surprised I haven't asked the only question I ever tend to ask during Sonic games. What's happening? Taking place right after Sonic 3, Sonic continues his quest to stop Robotnik on Mushroom Hill, but Knuckles was still tricked by Robotnik to think Sonic was a bad guy, so he's still trying to stop him. Sonic, Christ, get a fucking lawyer. So pretty much, Sonic and Knuckles is just Sonic 3 continued in every conceivable way outside of... well, Tails isn't here. I will say, the story, while it is a continuation, feels a bit held back by being a standalone part 2. Like, Sonic 3 ended with Sonic defeating Robotnik, so then Sonic and Knuckles continues the story by saying, well, Sonic defeated Robotnik, but he got back up again. To be fair, that's every Sonic plot, but with this being a direct continuation, it kind of feels a bit like, why? Knuckles' story is a bit strange, as many official Sonic sources imply it occurs at the same time as Sonic's, which doesn't make any sense. If it did, then you would see the parts where Knuckles and Sonic interact in Sonic's story, but you don't. Hey, here we get our cutscene. Knuckles' story seems to be taking place after Sonic's story, with Knuckles hanging out and then getting pissed off by an egg robo. So he plays through a whole Sonic game just out of spite. While the game starts off at Mushroom Hill Zone, a solid romp, but a questionable first level. How would a beginner know that down button exists? You get stuck on loads of vegetation, but that plus the amount of mountain platforms, this stage is such a lively feel, almost like there's no risk in everything. Like I said, the special stages are the same as Sonic 3's exclusive here. The bonus stages adventure by jumping into the checkpoint with a certain amount of rings are new. Sonic and Knuckles, on its own, is just Sonic 3 continued in every conceivable way outside of... well, Tails isn't here. I will say, the special stages are the same as Sonic 3's exclusive here. The bonus stages adventure by jumping into the checkpoint with a certain amount of rings are new. Sonic and Knuckles, on its own, is just Sonic 3 continued in every conceivable way outside of... well, Tails isn't here. I will say, the special stages are the same as Sonic 3's exclusive here. The bonus stages adventure by jumping into the checkpoint with a certain amount of rings are new. Sonic and Knuckles, on its own, is just Sonic 3 continued in every conceivable way outside of... well, Tails isn't here. I will say, the special stages are the same as Sonic 3's exclusive here. The bonus stages adventure by jumping into the checkpoint with a certain amount of rings are new. Sonic and Knuckles, on its own, is just Sonic 3 continued in every conceivable way outside of... well, Tails isn't here. there's actually 2 separate bonus stages in Sonic and Knuckles, which combined with Sonic 3's mean we have 3 different bonus stages. They weren't kidding when they said they wanted to make this the ultimate game. Next up is Slime Battery Zone, the stage on a blip. Thank you. This level's filled with scrap metal and technology from Robotnik, and it's awesome. It's weird to me how well a Sonic level inside of a blimp feels like a Sonic level inside of a blimp. The music is amazing, much like the rest of the gems of Sonic lineage. And Flying Battery Zone may be one of my favorite tracks. It really makes the level feel so exciting yet dangerous. Sandopolis, well, they can't all be winners. I don't care for other stages. In the first act, it's alright, and the boss fight at the end of it took a few tries to figure out. Like, how do I kill this guy? Oh, I just stand to the left and he'll just walk off and kill himself. Okay, Act 2 is a piece of garbage. It's like a sort of labyrinth where everything looks the same, and you pick up one jump and bam, I'm 20 miles down with no hopes of getting out, and on top of that, there's ghosts. Well, that just makes everything worse. Damn it! I hate this stage. It took me 45 minutes to get through, and next up was Lava Reef Zone. I mean, it's better, but it's similarly easy to get lost in. It took me forever on my first try. Next up is Hidden Palace Zone, which really just serves the purpose of being a boss fighting cutscene zone. Just one act, and it's mainly just to give you a fight against Knuckles and for Knuckles to realize you're not a bad guy, and Robotnik's been lying to him this whole time. You know, this zone is a reference to the famous Cut Zone in Sonic 2, named the exact same thing. It's cool to see it return as a part of Sonic and Knuckles, but it's a more cutscene than zone. Well, immediately afterwards, we're in Sky Sanctuary Zone, another one-act deal. This one, pretty good. Alright, we pissed the bed with Sandopolis, shit in a car with Lava Reef, and quite dinner with Hidden Palace. This one is challenging, but really fun. And then the final traditional stage, Death Egg Zone. Back to 2 acts. This dumbass anti-gravity section. I was in the air for so long, and I don't know what I did to stop it from happening, and I'm taking that lack of knowledge to the grave. You know, I said this before, but as good as classic 2D Sonic platformers can be, they almost always add some level of bullshit to them. I love Sonic 2. It has its moments, but Sonic 3 was shockingly absent of that. And now I know why. Because that was all in the second half of the game. We defeat Robotnik and his middle fingers, and that's Sonic and Knuckles. Partially, because if you beat 7 special stages and get all 7 Chaos Emeralds and unlock Super Sonic, you then get the true final boss. This is cool. And that's Sonic and Knuckles. Not really. The true final boss here, well, fairly easy all things considered, gives the whole true Sonic 3 experience a bombastic finale. Major final bosses that's more flashy than difficult, but I don't think that's all too bad. I remember final bosses that make you feel like a badass just as much, if not more so, than the most difficult and tricky ones. Yeah, Sonic and Knuckles is another fantastic time, though I think on its own, it's a bit lackluster compared to Sonic 3. Like, I just don't care for a good chunk of the zones here, at least compared to Sonic 3. They're not bad, though compared to Sonic 2's and 3's best zones, they're just not as fun to make. So, I've decided the definitive list of the best classic Sonic games. At the bottom, Sonic Cease and Desist. Next up is Sonic 1. Whenever I replay this one, I pretty much exclusively just play Green Hill Zone, and when I get to Marble Zone, I just reset the console. Followed by Sonic and Knuckles. It's a good game, just not my favorite compared to the others. Then Sonic 3, and then Sonic 2. And I think Sonic 2 has higher highs than Sonic 3, which is just more so consistently good throughout the entire adventure. But then it ends right when it feels like it's getting started, and the same goes for Sonic and Knuckles. So, Sonic 2 is my favorite. If we're not counting the best Sonic game, combining Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, we get Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, when the number 3 just isn't enough. As stated, this turns Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles into one connected and seamless experience, and honestly, this rocks! It's unfortunate the game had to be split up like this.
Oh, what the hell?
On their own, it feels somewhat lacking because of it. But together, it's no debate, this is one of the best 2D platformers of all time. The amount of great ideas, gorgeous sprite work, amazing music, it feels right out of a modern platformer. But to see concepts so advanced and
how many pigs did I spawn?
It's mind-blowing. Both games together may take a bit longer, but hey, you have the same feature from Sonic 3 included.
You can't let the density cramming in mid
the combination of 2 games
good
for the levels,
to know.
You have more special stages to beat, and beating more gives you Super Tails, Super Knuckles, and Hyper Sonic. Sweet Christ! This is the definitive 2D Sonic game. Well, at least when it came out. And it's a shame this version of the game always gets neglected in re-releases. Sonic Mega Collection, it's there, but you have to open Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles 20 times each to unlock it. I mean, just opening and closing immediately works. I earned this. this. And Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection on Xbox 360 and PS3, they have Sonic 3, they have Sonic and Knuckles, but you can't combine the two. That's something I think any collection or re-release of these games should have, and many do. But that just feels like a massive oversight. And playing both games separately highlights how inadequate they each feel as their own game. They're still fantastic titles, but it's just a fact. They're both incomplete experiences, but together, they make Squeal. Well, I think this has been an incredible experience playing through these games that were still a big part of my childhood. I may not have gotten far in these games as a kid, but I would all the time and run around in these stages. Just seeing those 3D models of Sonic on the title screens for 3 and Knuckles, it was mind-blowing. And I was playing these games on the Gamecube. I just found the evolution of these games from start to finish to be amazing. And I think people don't give these games the credit they deserve, especially Sonic 3 and Knuckles. The amount of creativity and polish in these Sega Genesis games is honestly something I think more people need to appreciate. But they chose Knuckles over Jimmy Buffett, so I think they were kind of asking for it. Well, I'm done with Sonic. You know, I put off years of colonoscopies just due to my business surrounding playing all these games, but now I'm free. So tell your family's proctologist to clear their schedule. Plug your show now.
I need some pink.
We went to the DeVos Children's Hospital. He was diagnosed with severe aplastic anemia, and out of the 20...
Hey all, Scott here. Let's roleplay. I'll be Sonic CD, and since I'm the only other person here, I'll also play the role of Scott. You, Sonic the Hedgehog on CDs. I've heard worse business proposals. Sonic CD, a game made exclusively for the Sega CD add-on for the Sega Genesis. Yeah, this was back when CDs were the hot ticket item in the game industry. If your game wasn't on a CD, you were a fucking loser. Compared to standard cartridges, CDs were cheaper to manufacture and could store loads more information. They could play high-quality audio and not quality video. It was obvious why companies were trying to shift over to the medium. However, it really wasn't until the PlayStation that CDs began to be widely accepted as the primary format for video games going forward. The Sega CD was a really weird ashtray and video game console. It's fair to call it its own console. It required a separate power adapter and had its own library of games separate from the gen.
Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a pig statue.
Oh, what does a pig even look like? Well, that's gray. And I have gray. Okay.
To be very easy, if you want to make it, here's what you're going to need. You will need black wool, white wool, pink wool, magenta, and finally purple wool. That's right, you will only be needing those 5 colors, so once you have those, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'm going to be making it right here. You're going to want to start this off with this little sequence of blocks in a row on the floor. Do 1 black wool, 1 pink, 1 black wool, 1 pink. As simple as that. Once you have those 4 blocks right there, you then want to stack 5 solid rows of pink wool directly on top of these 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on top of the
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Other 3 blocks as well to give you something which should look like this. Pause this if necessary, of course. Once you've done that, here's what you want to do. We pretty much want to do the exact same thing that we've done right here, except 3 blocks over this way. So you want to do this. You just want to leave a gap of 2, and then pretty much copy exactly what you've already done. So just do 1 black, 1 pink, 1 black, 1 pink, and then stack your 5 layers of pink wool directly on top of your row to give you something which should look like this. As you might be able to identify, those are just the fronts of the pig's front legs. Very simple. Once you've done that, it's now time for us to make these a little
to the back of your legs, and this is what you want to do. This is somewhat difficult to explain. So you want to, from the bottom row, it doesn't matter which leg you start from the bottom row of the legs, you just want to do 2 rows of pink wool coming out of the back of the legs, like this. You then, going from left to right, want to do this sequence of blocks. You just want to do 1 pink, 1 black, 1 pink, 1 black, like so. What you then want to do is you just want to stack 5 rows of pink wool directly on top of this first row. This may seem very familiar to you, so it just wants to match the height of the front of the leg, like this. And then all you want to do is just fill the sides of the leg in with pink wool, like this. Obviously, you don't want any holes in the pig's leg, like so. And then, if you're so inclined, you can also fill the top of the leg in to give you what is your pig's finished leg. Very easy. And once you've done that to the first leg, you want to do the exact same thing to the second leg. So just do the 2 rows of pink wool coming out. To the back of the leg, then do the pink, black, pink, black, then do the 5 rows of pink directly on top of that first row of the back of the leg. Fill in the sides of the leg with pink wool. And then, again, if you're so inclined, you can also fill in the top of the legs to give you the pig's 2 front legs. Very easy. Completely finished. Pause this if necessary, if you're still working on any of that, of course. Once you finish doing that, it's now time for us to move on to the pig's body. So, come to the front of the legs, and I'm going to just mark these with a bed, just so I don't get confused. The back of the legs and the front of the legs look remarkably similar. So, this is the front of the legs. What you then want to do, starting from the left leg, on top of the most left-hand side of the top left leg right here, take out a pink wool and just run a row of pink, starting from the left-hand side of the left leg, ending with the right-hand side of the right leg. It's kind of difficult to explain, but you guys can see exactly what I've done there. So you just want to kind of...
I wish I could dye doors.
Like that. What you then want to do
like the
is
wooden
do another
doors.
row of pink directly in front of the row of pink that you've
With
just
paint,
placed.
you know.
Something that should look like this. Once you've done that, you then want to come over to the left-hand side of your pig.
I'm not that bad,
So
so
you're now taking a sideways view to your pig statue, and starting from this block right here, going left of this block, you want to do a row of 14 pink wool coming towards the back of our pig statue. So like this.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
13, 14. Exactly like that. That very long row that we have here should in total be 16, including these 2 rows right here. So you've just done a row of 14 like that. What you then want to do is go over to the other side of your row that we have here should in total be 16, including these 2 rows right here. So you've just done a row of 14 like that. What you then want to do is go over to the other side of your statue and do the exact same thing. So starting from this
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
block right here that sits on top.
I guess I have to connect them.
Just do a row of 14 going towards the back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You then just want to connect the 14 blocks of both rows together at the back, like this, to give you a giant rectangular shape. Very simple. So once your rows are right here, it's now time for us to do our pig's back legs. And the back legs are the exact same as the front. They're just positioned a little differently. So come to the very back of your pig statue, and starting from underneath this block right here, going right, you want to do a row of 4 pink walls. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. You then want to connect that row of 4 pink wall directly to the ground with as many rows of pink as it takes. I'm not exactly sure how many rows it is, but it doesn't really matter. So you just want to have something which should look like this. What you then want to do, starting from in front of the bottom row of pink, going from left to right, you just want to do this. Do 1 pink, 1 black, 1 pink, 1 black, like so. Then, on top of that row that you've just done there, you just want to stack 5 solid rows of pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1,
5,
2,
there we go.
3,
It should
4,
seem very
5.
familiar to you. And the 5th row should just sit 1 block underneath the actual body of the pig and give you something which should look exactly like this. As you can see, exact same as the front leg. Pause this if necessary, of course. Once you've done this to the back, we've got to go ahead and do something similar to the front of the leg. So the only difference here is we've just got to add another row in between this and the actual detail of the leg. So once you're on the front, starting from the bottom row of pink, just add another row of pink like this. So just do a row of 4 pink coming towards you. And then it's time for us to do the exact same thing on the back. So starting from the left, you just want to do 1 black, 1 pink, 1 black, 1 pink, and then add 5 rows of pink directly on top of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sits just directly underneath the outline, and then do the exact same thing to the other 3 blocks like this, except the only difference here is, of course, we've just got to fill in the little side bit as we added the extra row. But there you have it, very easy. Pause that if necessary, of course. Once you have that first back leg, we want to go ahead and do the exact same side bit as we added the extra row. But there you have it, very easy. Pause that if necessary, of course. Once you have that first back leg, we want to go ahead and do the side bit as we added the extra row. But there you have it, very easy. Pause that if necessary, of course. Once you have that first back leg, we want to go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other side of our pig. We don't want him to be 3-legged, do we? We want him to have 4 legs. So starting from the right-hand side now, 1, 2, 3, 4. I almost said 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's right. And then connect those 4 blocks to the ground, like this. Then starting from left to right, in front of that bottom row of pink, 1 pink, 1 black, 1 pink, 1 black. Then stack the 5 solid rows of pink wool on top of that row, and then come to the front, add in an extra row of pink, and then do the exact same thing, black, pink, pink, of that row, and then come to the front, add in an extra row of pink, and then do the exact same thing, black, pink, and then stack again your 5 rows of pink, which should just come 1 row underneath the body. Then remember to fill in the sides,
4,
like
5.
this. And once you've done that, you should have both back legs of your pig. Extremely simple. Pause this if necessary, of course. Once you have both of those back legs and something which should look a little bit like this, let me give you a top view, it's kind of interesting. Once you have something that should look exactly like this, it's now time for us to do the last bit of detail that exists on the body. We've got to do our pig's tail. So you're still on the very back of your pig. This is what you want to do. Starting from the left-hand side, you want to count in and find the 4th block of the body. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be this block right here. Starting from on top of this 4th block, you want to take out your magenta and do 3 magenta walls. So going to the right. 1,
That's a lightish gray. Okay, Bunster.
2, 3, like this. Then, from that 3rd magenta, do an upright diagonal. Then place 2 on top. 1, 2. Then, do an up left diagonal. go left by 1. Then do a bottom left diagonal. Then a bottom right diagonal. And once you've done that, you should have your pig's little swizzly tail. Pause out if necessary, of course. Once you've done that, it's now time for us to fill out our pig's body a little bit. So it doesn't really matter which corner you start this from, since we have to do it to all of them, but this is what you want to do. Starting from whichever corner is your favourite, you want to raise up from the corner block a row of 7 with your pig going directly up. So like this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you want to do the exact same thing for every single corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Every corner block of the body, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just wants to be raised up by 7 like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then what you want to do is connect all 4 of those corner blocks together to form what is going to be a giant empty rectangle. Well, almost empty, it does have the little swizzly tail in there, but other than that, pretty much empty. So you just want to have something which should look like this. What you then want to do, and I'm going to cut out to do this, is you then want to fill every single face of this rectangle in with pink wool, and that includes the little bottom section here. You want to fill in the bottom. You don't want any holes in the pig, unless of course you do want to turn this pig into a house, in which case I would probably put either an entrance at the back or the front, but that's just logical. Anyway, I'm going to cut out. I'm going to fill in every single side of our pig, and I'll be back once we have what is essentially going to be a giant pink rectangle on legs. I kind of stumbled on that, it almost sounds ridiculous. Giant pink rectangle on legs. Back in a moment. So I have just finished filling in our pig's body, and quite honestly, it could be described as a giant pink rectangle on legs. It's 50% ridiculous, 50% disturbing. I don't know what else to say. Once you've reached this point right here, once you have exactly what I have on my screen, on your screen, Inception, it's now time for us to do our pig's head. So come to the very front of your pig, and come down to the bottom left-hand corner of the body here, like this. What you then want to do is find the second block in, very easy, and then come up by 2, so 1, 2. You want to have this block highlighted. What you then want to do is just place a single pink wool, and then go to the right of that pink wool by 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To give you a row, that should look like this. What you then want to do is 5 solid rows of pink directly in front of that row of pink that you've just done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
And then just fill in the rows. This is going to be the bottom of our pig's head.
Nothing much,
you just want to have something which should look exactly like this. What you then want to do on top of this 5th row right here is go up on top of it by 3 rows with your pink wool. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Like so. Then the next row has the eyes on it. So starting from the left-hand side of the next row, you just want to do this little sequence of blocks. Do 1 black, 1 white, then go to the other side here, and starting from the right-hand side, just do 1 black, 1 white, and then fill the middle section in with pink to give you something which should look like this. I know that the face doesn't look right now, but we've got to add the snout on there, and we'll be doing that a little later on. That's when the pig will actually start looking like a pig. Once you've done the eye row, You then just want to add 3 more
What
rows
are
of pig
you
wool
building?
directly on top
A pig.
of this row right here.
And I'm
So
gonna
1,
make it into
2,
a house.
3, and then 1, 2, and 3. Like so. Oops, where am I going? So you want to have something which should look like this. Pause this if necessary.
Technoblade.
Once you've done that, it's now time for us to do the rest of the head. So come up to the top of the back of the head, right here, and starting from this row, you want to do 7 solid rows of pink wool coming back towards the body. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then just do 7 solid rows of pink wool coming back towards the body. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, I thought I messed something up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I might have messed something up. Oh well. 1 more. There we go, now they're even.
And then just fill the rows in. So 1, 2, 3. I don't really have to count this. 4, 5, 6. As he counts it anyway. 7. And if you've done that right, the 7th row should just be in line with the 2nd row of the body, like this. What you then want to do, once you've done those 7 rows, is just connect that 7th row to the body of the pig, like this. So just add that extra row in there to connect them together. Then come to the side of your pig's head. I'm going to be starting on the left-hand side of the pig's head and do this. So lining up with the side of the eyes, you want to take out your magenta wool and you want to do this. You know what? I'm actually just going to do this and then I'm just going to show you what it looks like. Otherwise, I think that I'm going to horribly confuse myself and others. So you just want to do a shape that should look like that. Obviously, you've just used magenta for the lighter colour and purple for the darker colour. A lot of people don't put the magenta part in, like when they do their pig statues, but I decided to. And that is just the pig's ear. A lot of people just go with the purple, but they don't use purple. I have a look at other people's pig statues. They seem to either use brown or black, but that colour doesn't really make sense to me for ears. So there you go. That's what you want to have for the side of your pig's head. Pause this if necessary, of course. Let's go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other side of our pig's head. Of course, we don't want him to have just one ear. We want him to have as much herring as possible. He's got to listen out for those creepers. And there you go. You just want to go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other side.
There's a Technoblade statue over there, but I'll add a crown to this.
Include it, don't include it, change the colour, completely up to you. Whatever you want to do. And then once you've done both of the ears, you just want to fill the rest of the head in with pink wool, and you should just
I'm gonna make this a house, by the way.
Everything else should be
for my 3rd house. This is gonna be my 3rd house in this damn world. 4th house in this damn world.
And there you have it. That is the pig's head.
I'm gonna have 4 houses.
What we have to do now to finish this off is do the pig's snout. So coming to the front of the head, this is what you want to do. The top row of the snout just wants to sit 1 row below the eyes. So you just want to start with a row of 4 pink wool directly in between the eyes, but of course 1 block lower. You then just want to do this. I don't really feel as though I have to explain this even, to be honest with you. I think it's quite self-explanatory. And there you have it. There's a pig snout. That is the head 100% complete at this point. And again, just like with the other parts of the pig, you could make them whatever colour you want. I probably should have mentioned that. Like, you don't have to use like black for the feet if you don't want to. You could use brown or magenta or red or green or what have you. Or same thing goes for the ears or the eyes, or make your pig blue. What I'm really saying is use whatever colours you deem you want to use. Simple as that. And in finishing off the head, we have actually 100% completed our pig. And Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the next row place cyan, light gray, cyan, 2 light gray, some almost looks like. Purple. Above the eye line, I want to place a row of yellow concrete that spans all the way around it. It almost looks like a halo, perhaps a bad boy halo. And then, now that we have placed a row of, that looks so silly, and now that we've placed a row of yellow, we are going to extend the corners up each by 2. These are going to be level with the top of the head, like this, so all the 4 corners. And then we want to have more rows of yellow, so leaving a gap of 2, you want to place more vertical rows of yellow, just like this. So that wants to be on every single side of the head. So everywhere, you'll notice that this is also evenly spaced as well. So every 2 rows, you've got a little bit of yellow. Then, in between the gaps, if we start at the front left side of the statue, we place a yellow, leave a gap, yellow, leave a gap, yellow, leave a gap, so on and so forth. We want to proceed and do this pattern moving all the way around the edge of the statue, just like this. Now, let's add some gems. In the remaining empty spaces, in this order, we're going to place light blue.
No, I'm not doing that. This is what I'm doing.
Yo cool, I wish I could build as good as you.
I'm technically using a tutorial, so I'm not good at building. These are like my houses over here. Like, I built these without a tutorial, obviously, and this I built without a tutorial. It's a Pepsi, but it's filled with lava, aka what we call orange juice, and I also built this without a tutorial. That's a nice top hat that I built, holy crap. But, thank you for the compliment. Oh my god. Spawned. I swear I grabbed the, oh, there's the block of diamonds.
I don't say that your houses are great.
What? Why isn't my keyboard working? Why isn't my keyboard working? Hello? What? Why isn't my keyboard working? What? I think I might have to restart the stream, but how many hours are we in? I don't want to restart the stream, but I might have to because Because if this is a 12-hour stream, I'm gonna have to restart because I don't want to be stuck like this. Why is my keyboard not working? Why aren't you working? Plug you in again. Oops. My keyboard's not working. No. Should I add Technoblade's house from the Game SMP?
Part 9, 10, 9. This one, you probably saw by the title thumbnail, very exciting. We're going to be actually taking a bit of a road trip today. So you can see here's the church. One thing I want to change real quickly, go fast. It's going to be probably a long video. Actually, I might split it into 2 parts. I don't know. Basically, we're going to want to take torches, and you can line this whole thing on both sides. Little quick update. Booyah. So both sides of this path leading to the church are lined just like that. So I haven't checked recently, but I'm pretty sure the bedrock seat does not include this area currently. So I...
Oh, I have another keyboard. Hold on. Let's see if that one. Let's see if this one will still work. Oh, that's a lot of dust. Put this keyboard down for now. On the floor. Let's see if this keyboard will still work. If it does, I'll be amazed. It does. But none of... I think it might be my PlayStation. So I might have to restart my PlayStation. Yeah, I'm gonna retire this keyboard, this Hornet keyboard. Time to go into the box of my gaming things. Oh wow! I totally forgot that I have this. I have Minecraft Uno. And then my box of gaming things. I found a Minecraft Pig Uno card. I am putting that on my desk. In honor of Technoblade. So what now? Yeah, I'm gonna have to restart the stream. I'm gonna have to stream for 10 hours. And then just combine them both. I think. Yeah, that'll probably work, I don't know. I'm just gonna wait until that little save icon is up there. So I don't corrupt the world. My mouse still works. Oh. I am gonna build Technoblade's house from the GMSMP. Never watched it, but I will build it.
At Yumi, we believe a better generation.
No, we go big time. Oh, Paris is pissed. I shouldn't have showered him. I shouldn't have even showered. Why?
Did you try buying their house?
Technoblade. Today I want to show you how I made Technoblade in Lego. So first I chose the pieces for Techno and painted on all the little details like his coat and little buttons. Now the obvious choice would be to just use a Minecraft pig head, which I didn't even have, so I tried painting one, but this is not the Technoblade I want. This is the Technoblade I want. So I went back to the drawing board and I found a piece of hair, painted it bright pink, cut out the general shape of Techno's mask in construction paper, and added a few extra layers, some more paint. Then I melted the base off a Lego Friends crown, stuck it all together, and boom! Now we're getting somewhere. Somewhere cringy. Are you seeing this cape right now? We can do better. I got a nice thick piece of red fabric and cut out a whole new cape design, added a small piece of yarn for the collar, and this is how it turned out. One for the blood god. Check.
Hello everyone, Technoblade here. If you're watching this, I am dead.
Legends never die when the world is calling you. I'm screaming out your name. Legends never die. They become a part of you.
Oh, I can't even hit enter. I escape to make sure that the freaking. So how's your guys' day?
Here's how to make Technoblade secret door from the GMSMP. This took a while to make, so if you enjoy this, consider following me. Copy this and make sure the dispensers are facing down. Add a row of observers and sticky pistons. Copy this. On the other side, place observers and sticky pistons exactly like this. Copy this. Place some obsidian around 1 block above the ground. Cover up. On the side behind you, make a little platform out of